tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland. Great Lutheran saints, great Lutheran saints, ever winning, ever leading, ever peaceful, advancing the cause of technology. Land of nation, landmark, for national progress, academic excellence is our tradition, technology for self-reliance. Self-reliance, yes, self-reliance, yes, promoting of unity, not autism, championing the cause of technology. The shining example, the pride of Nigeria, with the blessings on our side, we shall go places, for self-reliance.
Shall we have a seat as we are applauding the Federal University of Technology, Akure, the best university of technology in Nigeria. Let's put our hands together for FUTA. Our Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to the 4th annual lecture, a book launch, and the first international conference of the School of Life Sciences. The lecture is titled Science and Technology, Bedrock of Nation Building. To chair today's occasion is the chief host, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Adenike Temidayo Oladiji, the very first female Vice Chancellor of this great institution. You are welcome, ma. I would like to invite, let me quickly recognize and invite to this side of the divide, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Development, Professor Sunday Samuel Oluyamo. You are welcome to this side, sir. We also like to recognize and bring also to the top table the University Librarian, Dr. Robert Awoyemi. You are welcome. Quickly, I will also bring to the high table to join the University Bossa as Mr. Peter Oladapo Oshadugba. You are welcome, sir. Let me quickly bring to the high table to join our Vice Chancellor is our guest lecturer for today, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, the Registrar, CEO, National Business and Technical Examinations Board, Benin City. He's ably represented by Professor Raymond Emmanuel. You are welcome to this side of the high table. I will also like to bring to the top table the keynote speaker, Professor Olushola Babatunde Kende, Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, is represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Development of the institution, Professor A. Adebayo. You are welcome, sir. I also want to bring to join our Vice Chancellor on that top table. I would like to invite the MD, Chairman, Integrated Services, Engineer Samuel Kolajo Olushiji. You are welcome to the high table. I also want to recognize and bring to the top table our book reviewer today is representing the Vice Chancellor, Elizade University, Lara Mokin. Professor Philip Oguntunde is being represented by the University Librarian, Dr. Ayoluwa Aregbeshola. I also want to bring to the high table the representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin is ably represented by Professor E.A. Anyide. You are welcome to the high table, sir. I also want to recognize and bring to the high table our chief launcher for today, Engineer Chief D.F. Omoya. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me invite to the high table. That's the host, the Dean, School of Life Sciences, Professor Oladumoye. You are welcome, sir. Let me quickly recognize some of our leaders here today. We have Professor Emeritus Lasende. You are welcome, sir. We have in our midst the Dean, School of Agriculture and Agricultural Technology, Professor Olabode Thomas Adebayo. You are welcome. We have the Dean, School of Physical Sciences, Professor Femi Barnabas Adebola. You are welcome, sir. We have in our midst former Vice Chancellor, Wellspring University, Benin City, former Director, International Strategic Office, FUTA, Professor Tom Ofuya. You are welcome, sir. We also have in our midst former Deputy Vice Chancellor, Development, Professor Tolulope Akinbogun. You are welcome. We have in our midst the former Vice Chancellor, Ondo State University of Science and Technology, Professor Sunday Ogunduile. You are welcome, sir. We have in our midst former Dean SLS, Professor Olufemi Ashamo. You are welcome, sir. We also have in our midst this morning, we have the Director, Central Research Lab, FUTA, Professor Folashade Adejuigbe. You are welcome. We have in our midst former university librarian, Prince Adegbule Adeshida. You are welcome, sir. We also have in our midst the Director, St. FUTA, Professor Ganiyu Obo. I saw him. You are welcome, sir. Our Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me especially welcome and recognize in our midst great Futarians. Great Futarians. I would also like to recognize and welcome Director, Sergis FUTA, Professor Mary Olowo Okere. You are welcome. Let me welcome the former Registrar, Ekiti State University, and our own, Mr. Ife Oluwole. You are welcome, sir. Our Vice Chancellor, like you always say, the only president in our midst. Let me recognize the president, Futasu Ramsin Akomolafe. I would also like to recognize and welcome Professor Pastor Owoyemi. You are welcome, sir. I would also like to recognize the chairman LOC for this lecture. You are welcome, sir. Our Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, without taking our time. Okay. We have in our midst the Rector, Ekiti State Polytechnic Ishon, Dr. Sunday Ajeigbe. You are welcome, sir. I would also like to recognize and welcome Professor Onifade, the LOC chairman. Our Vice Chancellor, permit me to recognize some of our awardees today. The first person has been recognized. That's the Professor Olushola Babatunde Kehinde, the Vice Chancellor of FUNAP. We also recognize and welcome Professor B.A. Ayinde. He's one of our awardees for today. You are welcome, sir. We recognize Professor Ebenezer Oluyemi Dada. You are welcome, sir. And mommy. We recognize Professor Olushola Olasunbo Odeyemi. You are welcome, ma. We'd like to recognize and welcome Professor Joshua Oluwafemi Ajele. You are welcome. And mommy, we recognize and welcome Professor Felix Akinshola Akinyosoye. You are welcome, sir. We recognize and welcome Pastor Boluwaji Alabi. You are welcome, sir. We also recognize and welcome Mr. Samuel Kolajo. You are welcome, sir. And I would like to quickly recognize and welcome the former Chair Governing Council, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Professor Ishaq Adekunle Amoro. You are welcome, sir. I recognize all the staff from the School of Life Sciences. You are all welcome. I also recognize the Director, International Strategic Office, FUTA, Professor Bamidele Akinyele. You are welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me now bring to the podium the Dean, School of Life Sciences, Professor Kolawole Oladumoye, for his welcome address. Dean, sir.
Good morning, sirs and ma. This is the address by the Dean, School of Life Sciences, FUTA, Professor M.K. Oladumoye, at the 4th annual lecture and book presentation today, Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Madam Vice Chancellor Ma, our amiable, kind, and peace-loving Vice Chancellor, you are most welcome. In the last 4 years, Madam Vice Chancellor have changed the architectural landscape of FUTA by the virtue of a number of infrastructural development that she has brought to FUTA. 15 new academic programs have been established during her tenure. More importantly, in the last 4 years, we have not experienced any internal crisis. To us as a school, we have benefited immensely from the good gesture of Madam Vice Chancellor. In terms of appointment, we have about 5 directors from the School of Life Sciences, CCE, Entrepreneurship, Central Research Lab, International Office, Quality Control. They are all in Life Sciences. We appreciate you, ma. As a school, Madam Vice Chancellor is building a new professorial building for us in Life Sciences, a 250 capacity lecture theater. The Olukoya Molecular Laboratory is in SLS, and the 4 laboratories in biochemistry is undergoing remodeling. And so, to us in Life Sciences, we are very, very grateful. Thank you, ma. We are very, very grateful. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics and Development, Registrar, the Secretary to Council, the Secretary to Senate, our distinguished lecturer, Dr. Aminu Mohammed Aminu, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer, National Board for Technical Examination Board, Benin City. We appreciate you. Our special guest of honor and invited guest, particularly I want to recognize the presence of Mr. Samuel Olushiji Kolajo of Integrated Services Nigeria Limited. We are very, very grateful. The chairman of today is Professor Edoba Bright Omorege San. The Vice Chancellor, University of Benin, is being represented by Professor B.A. Ayinde, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Ekawa Campus of University of Benin. You are most welcome. We also have here seated some of our sponsors. Pyramid International is here represented. Professor Abioye, you are most welcome. We have one of our major sponsors, Larimac International. Prince Lanre Abioye, you are also welcome. Let's see Larimac International. We appreciate you so much. My friend and very good friend, Dr. Sunday Ajegbe, direct in our midst, the guest lecturer, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, Registrar Chief Executive Officer, National Business and Technical Examination Board, who is a renowned administrator and researcher, and I'm quite sure he will undoubtedly stimulate thoughtful conversation today. In addition, some eminent personalities will be honored today. Award will be presented to the people who have served meritoriously and contributed positively to the growth and development of the School of Life Sciences, FUTA, in the time past. As I've said, we are going to have a section for award, which we term Meritorious and Mentorship Award, for 4 of our retired professors who have served the university and the school meritoriously. Most of us that are professors there are being mentored by them. Professor J.O. Ajele, biochemistry, Professor F.A. Akinose, microbiology, Professor E.O. Dada, microbiology, and Professor O.O. Odeyemi from biology. To our distinguished participants and guests, I encourage you to actively engage in the conference session, share your experience, ask thought-provoking questions, and make advantage of the networking opportunities available throughout the program. It is worthy to note that some of my manifestations have been accomplished within the first 1 year of my assumption of duty as the Dean, School of Life Sciences. When I came on board, we have 4 departments with 2 other departments domiciled in 1. Today we have 6 autonomous departments, 6 head of department. We have microbiology, biotechnology, we have biochemistry, we now have animal and environmental biology, and we have plant biology as an autonomous department. Already, approval has been given at the penultimate Senate to float a new Department of Science Laboratory Technology. We are awaiting NUC resource verification. We have also achieved some modest in areas of infrastructure development, courtesy of Madam Vice Chancellor. Our students too have been winning laurel. Just last Friday, we presented award won by some of our students to Madam Vice Chancellor. Thank you, ma'am. Of the manifesto are still pending, and they are very germane to the administration of the school. As I've said, when I came on board, I have a very tall dream. And that is, we wanted to have a center of excellence in cancer research. And we are proposing a 2.5 billion endowment fund for that particular research. The gathering of today, we are going to see how the seed money can be raised to start that project. And once the foundation is laid, subsequently, it's achievable and we can do it. That is what we are planning to do. We need a functional vehicle in the school, and the Center of Excellence in Cancer Research is our next major target. I therefore urge our distinguished guests to please come to our Macedonia and accomplish this task. I sincerely appreciate our guest lecturer, keynote speaker, resource person, sponsors partner. The sponsors partner, I want to quickly mention Larimac International for what they have done to us. I want to mention John Vent Company. They've done excellently for us. Dromo International Construction Company. They have been very, very wonderful to us. Then we have Integrated Mining Services. They have been very, very wonderful. Leadway Assurance. They have been very, very wonderful. These are our partners. We thank you so much. You can see my cap is the Agbeyewa farm that are leading the revolution in a cassava business. They have about, I think, 30 hectares of cassava in Ikole. At some point in time, they will address the gathering to let us see what they have been doing with respect to food safety and food security. Thank you. Special appreciation goes to the local organizing committee led by the chairman, Professor A.K. Onifade. I used to call him General Overseer because he's the one overseeing the annual lecture, he's the one overseeing the international conference, is the one overseeing the book launch, is the one also overseeing the award section. They are all under him. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, sir. Once again, I welcome you all and wish all a fruitful, rewarding, and enjoyable gathering. May our deliberations produce meaningful outcomes that will positively impact our society and the global scientific community. Professor M.K. Oladumoye, Dean, School of Life Sciences. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the Dean. I will quickly like to recognize and welcome and to join our Vice Chancellor on the top table, our University Registrar, Mr. Charles Olusegun Adeleye, FNIM. Let me quickly recognize and welcome former Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic FUTA, Professor Olatunde Arayela. You are welcome, sir. We also have in our midst, representing Professor Emeritus Adebisi Balogun, the former Vice Chancellor of this great institution. He's being represented by Professor Titus Niyi Olusi. You are welcome, sir. We have in our midst former Director, International Strategic Office, FUTA, and FUTA Advancement Center, Professor Akindaunsi. You are welcome, sir. Once again, also, I would like to recognize and welcome the Chairman LOC for this program, Professor Anthony Kayode Onifade. You are welcome, sir. At this point, I would like to invite to the podium the very first female Vice Chancellor of this great institution, the Chairman.
Today is a day of great protocols. The Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, my friend, Professor Kehinde Babatunde, who is ably represented here today, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin, Professor Omarige, SAN, also a friend and a brother, also ably represented by the DVC. FUNAB is represented by the DVC Development. UniBen is also represented by the DVC of one of the campuses. The Vice Chancellor, Eliza Day University, our own Professor Oguntunde, who is ably represented here again today. I have the Rector, Ekiti State Polytechnic, Isha Ekiti. He is here in person. He's a friend and a brother to the Dean of the School of Life Sciences. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Development, the Registrar, the University Librarian, the Bursar, former Vice Chancellors here present, former Deputy Vice Chancellors here present, former Registrars, top government functionaries, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, our chief launcher, Engineer Chief Omoya, I hope I'm right. Also one of our awardees, Honorable Sunday Olushiji, the CEO of Integrated Mining Limited, our distinguished guest speaker, the guest lecturer, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, the Registrar, Chief Executive Officer, National Business and Technical Education Board, NABTEB. The Dean School of Life Sciences is my Dean, Professor Oladunmoye. Other deans, directors, and heads of department, Emeritus Professor Akinla Sayinde, our father, eminent scholars, members of staff of FUTA and other academic institutions here present. I recognize specially the only excellency that is here. That is the president of FUTASU, President Ramsey, and members of his cabinet. I hope your cabinet members are here. Other students from the School of Life Sciences, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and a heart full of gratitude that I welcome you all to the 4th annual lecture and book presentation of the School of Life Sciences here at the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I seize this opportunity to welcome particularly our guests to FUTA, we pride ourselves as the best university of technology in Nigeria. Without apologies to anybody, our status is earned. And you know data don't lie. We have data to support our claim that we are the best university of technology in Nigeria. Today's gathering reflects the enduring commitment of the School of Life Sciences to advancing scholarship, promoting intellectual discourses, and contributing meaningfully to national development through the dissemination of knowledge. Annual lectures such as this provide a veritable platform for reflection on issues of strategic importance to our nation while fostering collaboration among academia, industry, government, and the society. I welcome with due reverence our guest lecturer, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of the National Business and Technology Education Board, NABTEB, a distinguished administrator, educationist, and advocate of technical and vocational education. His wealth of experience in educational management, skills development, and capacity building makes him eminently qualified to speak on today's topic, Science and Technology, Bedrock of Nation Building. The theme could not have come at a more appropriate time across the globe. Science and technology continues to redefine economies, transform healthcare systems, revolutionize agriculture, improve industry productivity, enhance environmental sustainability, and strengthen national security. Nations that have achieved remarkable economic growth and sustainable development have done so by making deliberate investments in scientific research, technological innovation, quality education, and human capital development. For our dear nation, Nigeria, the imperative is even greater as we strive to diversify our economy, tackle insecurity, address food security, improve healthcare delivery, combat climate change, and create employment opportunities for our teeming youth population. Science and technology remain indispensable instruments for achieving these objectives. They are the engine that drive innovation, competitiveness, productivity, and inclusive growth. The Federal University of Technology, Akure, was established with a clear mandate of producing highly skilled manpower and conducting cutting-edge research that addresses national and global challenges. For over 4 decades, FUTA has remained committed to this mandate by producing graduates who continue to distinguish themselves in the academia, industry, government, and entrepreneurship. Our researchers have continued to generate innovative solutions in engineering, agriculture, environmental management, biotechnology, health sciences, information technology, and other critical sectors. Today's book presentation equally deserves commendation. Books remain enduring repositories of knowledge, preserving ideas for future generations while stimulating inquiry, innovation, and intellectual growth. Every scholarly publication enriches the academic community and strengthens the university's reputation as a center of excellence in teaching, research, and innovation. I therefore congratulate the School of Life Sciences for sustaining the noble tradition of annual lectures and combining it with a scholarly presentation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our nation faces numerous developmental challenges. And like I often say, whatever happens in this country, the university cannot absolve ourselves from the challenges. I am of the firm belief that we didn't meet, my generation didn't meet Nigeria the way it is now. And I believe and I pray that we will not hand over a country like this to the generation coming behind us. What that means is that we have to work hard, put in a lot of effort to ensure that the narrative changes. We can definitely not hand over Nigeria the way it is. And the university has a critical role to ensure that there is a change in all aspects positively in this country. History has consistently shown that societies which invest in education, research, innovation, and evidence-based policy making are better positioned to overcome adversities and achieve sustainable prosperity. Universities must therefore continue to serve as centers for generating knowledge, nurturing innovation, and providing practical solutions to societal problems. As a University of Technology, FUTA remains committed to strengthening partnerships with government agencies, industry, research institutions, and international organizations in order to accelerate innovation and translate research output into practical applications that benefit our society. Earlier this morning, I was privileged to meet the team from Agbeyewa, and I had just 2 minutes with them. They didn't need to speak too long to convince me or to stimulate in me the need for the university to visit them and possibly partner with them. It didn't take me long to know that we have to work with them, and our students can actually derive a lot of benefit partnering with them. I also believe our scholars can do a lot to enhance productivity in whatever area they would need. And I believe that it's going to be a fruitful collaboration. We shall continue to provide on our campus an enabling environment for impactful research, entrepreneurship, commercialization of innovations, and interdisciplinary collaboration. I therefore urge our students to embrace scientific inquiry with curiosity, creativity, integrity, and resilience. The future belongs to those who can harness knowledge to solve real-world problems. Likewise, I encourage our researchers to continue pushing the frontiers of knowledge while ensuring that their discoveries address the developmental needs of our nation. We have long passed the era of doing research just for the purpose of doing research. For every research that is conducted, resources goes into it. Money goes into it. Time goes into it. Intellect goes into it. Why should it end on the shelf? We are at a time when all these things must generate not only money, but must generate solutions for others. Let's make the world a better place. And the only way is to ensure that our research translates to products that are usable, solving the problem of man. After all, man is designed to make life better for man. Once again, I express our profound appreciation to our distinguished guest lecturer, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, for honoring our invitation, despite these demanding national responsibilities. We eagerly look forward to benefiting from his insightful and wealth of experience. We thank also all other distinguished invited guests among us today. We cannot but thank all the awardees, awardees that retired from our School of Life Sciences. We refer to them as our elder statesmen. They are our living legend, and it is on their shoulders that we lean on. Thank you for coming, sirs and ma'ams. We are happy to see you again, doing very well. I reserve due commendation for the Dean School of Life Sciences, Professor MK Oladumoye, for his leadership and sustaining this aspect of university culture. The School of Life Sciences is one of the fastest growing schools in our university. And I believe that the idea of a center of excellence in cancer research is laudable, and it is, on the long run, also going to impact humanity positively. Thank you for what you are doing. I also wish to thank the staff and students of the School of Life Sciences, especially the organizing committee, ably led by the GO himself, Professor A.K. Onifade. Which one is the A.K.? Is it they say A.K.A. Onifade or A.K.A. GO? I don't know the one that is the A.K. among the two, for successfully putting together this strategic intellectual engagement. Your dedication continues to enhance the university's academic tradition and visibility. I must say that staff in the School of Life Sciences has continued to contribute to the development of our university. And we see them serving, not just as lecturers, but they are serving in key components of the university. We have them serving as the director of the Central Research Laboratory, serving as the director of the Quality Assurance Department, both as the director and the associate director. We have our staff colleague serving as the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship Development, the Center for Continuing Education, and also as associate, the Directorate of the International Strategy Office, and also as associate. But beyond that, we also have some of our staff serving even in the cooperative society. So you will see that the staff of SLS, they are all over the university, ensuring that we are well taken care of. We thank you for the services you are providing for us in the university. They are more than academic, they are administrators as well. As we listen to today's lecture and participate in the discussions that follow, I sincerely hope that we will be inspired to renew our collective commitment to leveraging science, technology, and innovation as powerful tools for building a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable Nigeria. We want to thank our sponsors, those partnering with us. It encourages us when you partner with us. Also, it gives our students additional hope. They know that the industry is waiting for them. We also plead that where possible, please join us in the training of industry-ready graduates. We thank you so very much. To the participants, I want to say that the only way we can adjudge this, our conference and colloquium, as being successful is when we build new partnership, we develop new research ideas, and we make permanent friendship arising from today's meeting. I want to thank everybody that has made today's event a reality. Permit me to also recognize somebody I described as powerful chief. The powerful chief just walked in, a former acting vice chancellor of this university, a former rector of the Federal Polytechnic Ile-Oluji, and the chairman, governing council of the Ekiti State Polytechnic, Professor Fashake. Thank you for joining us today. He's a powerful chief because he was just conferred chieftaincy title at Ile-Oluji, I think. I also want to thank recognize somebody I described as a professor carpenter. He's also a pastor. Thank you, sir. Pastor Owoyemi. Thank you, sir, for being part of our event today. And I must, of necessity, also thank somebody I refer to as our Baba, Professor Amo. is also an elder statesman, Professor Amo of Chemistry Department. He was the acting Pro-Chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, and is also the chairman of the Muslim community, ensuring that we have peaceful coexistence on our campus. Thank you, sir, for also being here. If I go on and on, I will thank everybody. It's not my duty, but distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am most delighted to be here today. It's a special day for us in the School of Life Sciences. We thank you for your presence. I wish us a fruitful deliberation, successful and rewarding annual lecture and book presentation. Thank you very much.
Let us sustain the applause for our Vice Chancellor. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly recognize and welcome His Royal Majesty Oba Elder Peter Adeoye Alanu Oluwa Adeleye the Alaye of Aye Kingdom. Kábíyèsí o. I also want to recognize and welcome an awardee of the FUTA Registry, our own heir, the Vice Chancellor, Macpherson University, Professor Francis Igbason. You are welcome, sir. Just like our Vice Chancellor did, I would like to recognize and welcome the Chairman Governing Council, Ekiti State Polytechnic, a member of the Governing Council of NAPTEP, Professor Emmanuel Adedayo Fashakin. You are welcome, sir. I would also like to recognize and welcome Director of FUTA Advancement Center, Professor Ficient Ajayi. You are welcome, sir. We have also Director Waska FUTA, Professor Ifeoluwa Balogun. You are welcome. I also quickly want to recognize the Sub-Dean, SLS, Dr. Odunayo Agunloye. You are welcome, sir. And of course, I would like to recognize and welcome Honorable Kayode Fashakin. You are welcome, sir. I also want to recognize and welcome the school officer, SLS, Mrs. Eunice Yemisi Olukolade. You are welcome, ma. Our Vice Chancellor, Kábíyèsí, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite our guest lecturer for today. Is ably represented by Professor Raymond Emmanuel. I will ask him to please step forward here as we take his citation before he takes his lecture. Please let's applaud him as he's stepping forward. Bello University, Zaria. Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed is the Registrar, Chief Executive Officer, National Business and Technical Examinations Board, NAPTEP. He holds a PhD and a master's degree in automobile technology from the Federal University of Technology, Minna, and a B.Ed Tech in automobile technology from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Dr. Mohammed has diverse working experiences in academia and is a seasoned public servant and a technocrat. Dr. Dr. Mohammed has diverse working experiences in the academia and is a seasoned public servant and a technocrat. He worked previously as a teacher, lecturer, supervisor, industrial training coordinator, technician, assistant dean, and dean of student affairs at the Kaduna Polytechnic. Dr. Mohammed has so many publications to his credit, both locally and internationally. He is also an advocate of vocational education in Nigeria and procurement, chain and supply management. Dr. Mohammed was at one time a Chief Research Officer, Deputy Director Planning and Policy Analysis Department, Deputy Director Procurement, Director of Procurement, National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, and presently the Registrar Chief Executive Officer, National Business and Technical Education Board, NAPTEP. Dr. Mohammed is widely traveled and married with children.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Let me start by saying that I am not the registrar. I am an errand boy. My name is Professor Emmanuel Raymond. I'm a professor of TVET, Federal University of Technology, Minna. I am the special technical assistant to the registrar. The registrar is unavoidably absent. He's busy with some other schedules, so he has asked me to come here and deliver this lecture on his behalf. Therefore, the voice you are going to be hearing is going to be my voice, but the message is that of the registrar. But I take responsibility for the mistakes if I make one. So, the Vice Chancellor and the First Lady, Federal University of Technology, Akure, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, the Registrar, other principals, officers, the Dean, School of Life Sciences, all deans here present, HODs, the members of academia, the students, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, let me welcome you to this all-important occasion, the 4th annual lecture of School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure. It is a privilege when we receive the invitation from the Dean, School of Sciences, to deliver this lecture. My registrar considers it as a privilege to be recognized as worthy to deliver this lecture. So we want to first of all appreciate the Vice Chancellor. We want to appreciate the Dean and the entire university community for this rare privilege. We thank you so much. Now, the title of today's lecture is Science and Technology, Bedrock of Nation Building. All right. Now, we're going to start this way. And I am starting by asking this rhetorical question. Can any nation become prosperous in the 21st century without investing in science and technology? The big answer is no. Countries that invest heavily in science and technology consistently rank among the world's best prosperous and innovative economies. It then therefore means that any nation that neglects science and technology often struggles with poverty, unemployment, and dependent on imported innovations. Science and technology influences every aspect of modern life, from healthcare, agriculture, transportation, communication, education, and national security. Therefore, the topic chosen for today's lecture is germane, is very, very important. Is the in thing, is what is one of the current trends. And therefore, we need to talk about it, we need to discuss it, and we need to act upon it. It is common knowledge that science is a systematic pursuit of knowledge through observation, experimentation, and evidence. Technology, on the other hand, is the practical application of scientific knowledge to solve human problems. Therefore, science will be useless if it is not applied to solve practical problems. Science generated from science will be useless if it is not applied. And when the knowledge gotten from science is applied, it may lead to nation building. And as we all know, nation building is a process of developing a country's economy, to develop that country economically, socially, politically, and culturally, so that the cultural institutions, so that citizens' lives will improve, so that our problems will be solved. A country can never be developed if the quality of life of its citizens is not improved. If we keep on having problems here and there, we cannot claim to be developed. And therefore, we need to embrace science and technology so that we can be among other nations marching forward to ensure that the quality of life of our citizens continue to improve. Now, the central logic this morning for this lecture is that nations are not built on the resources beneath their soil, nor even on the knowledge inside their universities alone. Nations are built on human capacity to convert knowledge into value. This applies that if the knowledge that is generated in our laboratories in the universities is there, if we have all the natural resources, and we don't have skilled manpower to convert this knowledge into value, we will have been wasting our time. So we need a well-trained human capacity. We need human beings that are trained, they are skilled to convert this knowledge into values that will be able to solve our problems. And therefore, our discussion this morning will be centered around this. So we should note that besides what we hear from technology, we will need a skilled workforce. Nations that have developed because they have a skilled workforce that is actually working. Because you need human beings, not just ordinary human beings that are well trained, human beings that have the skills. So, we as a nation, we must train our children, we must train our youth so that they will convert this knowledge gotten from sciences, so that the knowledge gotten from sciences, when converted into tools through technology, the theme of science and technology as the bedrock of nation building is not just academic abstraction, it is the single most urgent practical question facing here today. We all know that science discovers, technology enables, but skilled hands, trained technicians are the ones that will work in our industries. They are the ones that will put all this together and then we'll see the result in the society. They are the ones that will put one and one together and then our problem we have in our communities will be solved. Therefore, if you remove any one of these electric board, nation building will collapse. And therefore, technology, skilled hands, are all two different sides of the same coin. We need them together. They must work together so that we will have what we call nation building. Nations that have developed have embraced science and technology. And they have also embraced TVET. Now, I will be blending science and technology with TVET. Let's take a look at developed countries, just a few ones. Number one is South Korea. South Korea rebuilt from the ruins of 1950 wars by investing simultaneously in science, research, industrial technology, and vocational education, feeding skilled technicians into factories and shipyards. So where are they today? South Korea is a developed nation. The same thing with Singapore. Singapore, without natural resources, became a global hub of precision, manufacturing and biotechnology by treating technical skills training with the same seriousness as university education. Take a look at the United Arab Emirates. They choose deliberately diversification into aviation, logistics, and renewable energy, and build the human capital to run these sectors as well ahead of demand. It is very clear that if you have everything, but you don't have the skilled hands to turn everything around, it will be as if you have nothing. And so we need to train our youth so that they will get the skills to take advantage of all the natural resources we're having, to take advantage of all the knowledge we generate from science, to take advantage of all what we have converted from science to technology so that we can solve our daily problems. Nigeria's paradox. We have looked at developed nations, what they have done, what have made them to be where they are today. But the question is, we in Nigeria, where are we? Nigeria, a 66-year-old nation, we must learn a lesson. We must benchmark from the developed nations. We must look at what other nations are doing. What do we have as a nation in Nigeria? Scientific talent. University research that holds its own on the global stage. University research in Nigeria can compete with every other university in the world. I tell you that. We have natural endowment. We have arable land. We have mineral deposit in abundance. We have a youthful population that is envy of nations with aging workforce. But upon all this, where are we? A nation that is full of people that are unemployed, underemployed. And we have all it takes to turn the nation around, but we are not doing what we ought to do. What do we lack as a nation? We lack the consistent, disciplined translation of scientific knowledge into industrial and technological application at a large scale. Knowledge is generated in laboratories, but too often it dies on the shelf. It dies in the journal article, in the unfunded patent, because there is no pipeline of skilled hands ready to carry it into the factory, ready to carry it to the farm, ready to carry it to the clinic, ready to carry it to the workshop. This is the gap that this lecture is concerned with. Science, technology, and nation building is a chain. It's a complete chain. If you break one, you get no result. And we know what it's like a complete system. And a system, as we know, is made up of subsystems. So when single subsystem is not working, the complete system is finished. Let's take a look at, for instance, the digestive system of our own body. The food we eat, the system starts from the mouth. When we chew the food from the mouth, we use our tongue to chew the food. And then we swallow it. It goes into the stomach. And then some other things take place like that until when we go to the toilet and then we throw it away. It's a complete system. If something is wrong with the mouth, how will the food get to the stomach? If the mouth is working, your mouth system is okay, there's something wrong with their digestive system. What will happen when the food gets to the stomach? And so the system will collapse. So that also implies to the chain of science, technology, and nation building. They work together. They must cooperate together. When science knowledge is there and is not translated by technology, problem is not solved. When science knowledge is there, translated by technology, and we don't have a skilled workforce to convert this technology, there is a problem. And what are we talking about here? We know that the skilled workforce, for instance, we all have cars, we all have machines. It is the function of the skilled workforce to maintain all the machineries that we have in our laboratories. All the machineries that are produced from technology. Technology uses the knowledge gotten from science. And this knowledge is gotten from our laboratories in the universities. And therefore, this is the flow. And it also means that a biotechnology innovation will remain a brilliant idea confined to a thesis unless there is a workforce capable of scaling it into the industry. Closing the gap, the NAPTEP perspective. TVET exists precisely to close the gap between scientific knowledge and its productive application. Where the university trains scientists and engineers, TVET trains technicians, technologists, craftsmen, artisans. These people are trained to convert design into product. They are trained to convert policy into practice. They are trained to install and maintain machineries. I give you an instance. If you are traveling from your house to the school and you have a flat tire, you call a vulcanizer. He will come and fix your flat tire. It's TVET. If you are living in your school and you are going back home, you have your car broke down. You call a roadside mechanic to come and fix your car. It's TVET. When you go home, you want to sit down and relax on the cushion. That cushion was constructed by a carpenter. TVET. If you want to lie down, you go to your bedroom and lie on your bed. That bed was done by a carpenter. TVET. If you go to your house, you are building a house, for instance, you want to tile the house, the tiler, TVET. You want to put POP, TVET. It is TVET when you sleep, TVET when you wake up, TVET when you move, TVET when you are stationary, TVET when you are moving. Therefore, we need this skilled workforce. It is not a joke. And therefore, we need to connect. Universities, we know universities is known for training scientists and engineers. But TVET is also known for training the skilled workforce that will take care of what has been done by the scientists, converted to technology, to maintain all the things that have been done. So we in NAPTEP, we are in National Business and Technical Examination Board. We certify competencies that turns knowledge into productive skills. We also ensure quality assurance as a mechanism verifying a young Nigerian can wear a building, service an engine, or operate an equipment safely. A nation that invests heavily in scientific research while starving its technical education system is like building a car with a powerful engine but no wheels. if you have a car with a powerful engine, without wheels, the car will never move. So what is the point? You have done nothing. And that is the need. And that is the gap we want to close. So we need to give attention to it so that the complete system would work holistically. Now, as a registrar, the registrar, when he came on board, he has visited almost 80% of technical colleges across the nation, and he has observed that young people in under-resourced workshops are producing work of remarkable ingenuity with equipment that predates their own birth. So these visitations, he has discovered that there is serious collapse in laboratories in technical colleges across several regions. There is absent or unreliable power supply, disrupting practical training. There is an aging equipment that predates the student learning on it. Also, there is uneven capacity building. Some regions are far beyond the other. Then how can we move as a nation? As one region is more developed than the other. At the end of the day, we may not be classified as a developed nation because one region is ahead of the other. Nation building cannot proceed at different speeds in different regions. If the nation is to hold together as one coherent competitive whole, we must move together and develop together. Now, in NABTEC, what do? We certify. We assess and certify. And therefore, we are very sure that a degree or a trade certificate is only as valuable as the confidence employers, investors, and the public place on it. When NABTEC certifies a technician, the certificate must mean that the bearer can be trusted with equipment, the clients, and often the safety of others. Examination integrity, standardized assessment, and regular curriculum review are the mechanism translating progress into workforce the market can rely upon. A nation that underinvests in certification credibility find industry hesitant to hire a live example. Nigeria is pushing towards compressed natural gas and electric vehicle. NABTEC is already in collaboration with industries to build a pipeline that makes this policy a reality. And there are 4 ways of doing this. This can be done through curriculum alignment, through technical certification, through quality assurance, and also recognition of prior learning. Now let me emphasize on recognition of prior learning, otherwise known as RPL. There are a lot of people working in the informal sector. And let me tell us, more than 80%, if for instance you are appointed as the CEO, the problem is that they don't have the skills. The white collar jobs are saturated, but the blue collar jobs are there empty. The blue collar jobs are there, the pink collar jobs are there. We're not taking them all. And we're looking for jobs. And that is where we have the RPL, recognition of prior learning. Recognition of prior learning is a process in which the people in the informal sector, there are people good, quite a number of them, they have the skills, but they don't have the certificates. You can imagine a roadside technician that you will call to fix your car. After fixing your car, after sweating for 4 hours, 5 hours, then you now pay him a peanut. I don't think it's even a peanut, it's a mustard seed. You pay him 5,000, 2,000 after sweating for 4 hours because the man is not certificated. Because if they are certificated, we will know how to place them. When you come, they will tell you that, look, this is the service we provide, this is how much it will cost you. But because they are also struggling to survive, that is not happening. And therefore, we are looking at RPL to be able to solve this problem. And the problem is all over the country. Now, the lesson is generalized across sectors. Every major science and technology initiative this nation undertakes. For instance, in health, agriculture, digital infrastructure or renewable energy from the one or installed precisely at the point of implementation. This is the single most avoidable failure in our national development planning, and it is entirely within our power to correct it. We must correct it. As we move, as science moves, as technology moves, we must have an adequate skilled workforce that will carry along and then take care of all the machineries we have. What is the university's role? The university's role is building bridges outward from the bench. The university's role is connecting with the workforce, is connecting with the world of work. University remains the origin of scientific inquiry, but nation building requires them to build deliberate bridges outward to TVET system, to industries, to certification bodies. The current scenario is that our universities overflow with research papers, yet publications alone cannot feed nations. Publications alone cannot generate jobs. Publications alone cannot solve our problems. The world does not remember who published the most. The world remembers who invented the most. So we must move beyond publication. We must convert our publication to real life problem solving. If university exists in communities, and in the communities we have problems that cannot be solved by the universities, we have not lived up to our expectations. If all we do is to do publication, then we need to go to have a routine so that we can be able to solve the problems we have around us. One of the ways is to sign structured MOUs, very school with technical colleges. Routing research findings into training modules that may lead into invention. We can also screen for higher postgraduate research for translation potential, route promising findings to technical colleges and polytechnics. Encourage faculty to supervise projects with technical education partners from inception. Establish standing forum for scientists, industry, and certification bodies, asking for every discovery. Who will carry this forward? These are what we must do to move forward. Recommendations. 4 priority areas for nation building. Number 1, policy linkage. There must be deliberate policy linkage between science, curricular, and technical skills certification. Complementary tracks, not disconnected system. We must have policy that will link knowledge with skills. We must have policies that will connect the knowledge from the universities with the skill workforce we want to establish. Number 2 is infrastructure investment. This is a common problem everywhere. You go to laboratories, infrastructure is not there. You go to workshop, it's just mere names, obsolete equipment. We're just paying lip service. Every day we'll say we will do it, and yet we will not do it. If we don't do it, we are wasting our time. Infrastructure is very necessary, so we must provide it. Number 3, industry, academia, TVET partnership. We must work together. We must work as a team. Industry, the academia, TVET must work as a team. Universities must talk to the industry. There must be collaboration. There must be communication. Take for instance, even at homes, in our marriages, if we don't communicate, we know it's a problem. We are all together in this business. The industry, the academia, TVET, we're all together. So we must collaborate, we must talk. And therefore, we need to talk. I'll finish in a jiffy. The number 4 is a culture of parity. A national culture where certificate of a skilled technician is held in the same regard as a degree of a research scientist. If this is done, we will have stepped forward in solving this problem. Conclusion. The final charge. The final charge is that do not let knowledge end at publication. That is the final charge. If all we publish ends there, we have done nothing. If it's not helping us to solve our problem, we have done nothing. We know that science discovers, technology enables, but skilled hands and trained minds build the nation. None of the three can substitute for the other two. To the students and the entire faculty of School of Life Sciences, see yourself as part of an unbroken chain that runs from the laboratory bench to the livelihood of the ordinary Nigerian. Every discovery carries the potential to become someone's job, someone's business, someone's better life, but only if that chain is deliberately completed, link by link, from science through technology into skills. So always ask these questions. Ask always, who will carry it to the rest of the way, and how might help build that pathway yourself. Conclusively, I want to sincerely thank the Vice Chancellor and the First Lady of FUTA and the entire management of this great university for this honor. I want to appreciate it. I also want to appreciate the Dean of School of Life Sciences for this visionary behind this annual lecture series. Now it is in its 4th year and clearly growing in stature. Long live School of Life Sciences, long live FUTA, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, our guest lecturer. Shall we be seated, please? I will now hand over the microphone to the chairman of today's occasion, our Vice Chancellor, for the question and answer session.
Thank you very much. Another hand of applause for our lecturer. Thank you for the well-delivered lecture. Please extend our greetings to the registrar of NAPTEP. Let me start by, I'm supposed to take 2 questions, so they said. But please permit me first to recognize Oba Elder Peter Adeoye, Allah Nulu Adeleye, the Allah of Aye Kingdom. Kabiyesi, I saw you while I was delivering my lecture, but you know, you cannot call Kabiyesi anyhow. I must get the proper name and the proper title. That was why I didn't acknowledge you that time. Thank you for coming, sir. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for us Futarians, I believe this is a lecture delivered in good time. For the professors amongst us, you'll recollect at the last Senate, we had a paper because we are just establishing our School of Science Education, Science and Technology Education. And we were debating it. Should we not? And the rationale is that if we want to promote technology education, where are the teachers to even train them? Thank you again, because now we see that whether we like it or not, we cannot do without the TVET, the technology education, because it is like our everyday living. And in my view, I also think that whether you are skilled in everything, it's also good to be skilled in those days they call it handwork. Those of us that went to public primary school, in the days of old, compulsorily you must do handwork. That was what they used to call it. And at times they rolled those of us that are females to something like needlework. You must know how to make tablecloth and those armchair rests and all of those things. And at some point they will even teach you how to design the broom, you know, how to weave baskets and how to do carvings on calabash. Those were the handworks that we learnt at that time. And they also teach so many things, but now the handwork, I don't know whether it has disappeared. My children, when they were in primary school, they didn't learn handwork. I don't know whether they have reintroduced handwork to our curriculum. But as a university, we thought that it's also good for us to continue in this handwork. And those would be like, part of it is what we do at the Center for Entrepreneurship. For our Greek handwork, we do CSP 210. It's all towards efforts for skills, for extra skills acquisition. And I believe today all of us are inspired that time is not wasted, energy is not wasted. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have limited time and we will take just 2 questions. And we wish that you will make it questions, not lectures. Questions, not lectures. If it is a comment, it has to be as brief as 1 minute. If it's a comment, it has to be as brief as 1 minute. If it is question, it also must be a question, not a lecture. So I will take only 2 people, please, because we still have the book presentation, which a reviewer will still have to review the book and give like a mini lecture. That's why we want to try and put everything in good. So I will take 2 people, Professor Powerful Chief and Professor Carpenter, Professor William. Thank you very much in that order. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your magnanimity, the chairman of this occasion. Let me be brief. I extend all courtesies. Thank you for this lecture. My own comment is that the problem we have is policy somersault from the beginning. And you know, because you said that you brief with 1 minute, you know these things started with 6336. Because what you are preaching now, 6334. And I just give me an extra 1 minute to explain that. Because
to stop my boss.
What we are preaching now is skill, not certificate. Skill, not certificate. We have so many people now, many graduates, you know, without work. I think you know those states here. Where are the industry you are talking about? You don't have anything. We have asked them to go for IT. Where do they go to? You know, in many places where you go to, you will find industry. If you want to send a student to industry, that will go to Ogun State or Lagos or far places. We have this our priority. That's number 1. Number 2, I talk about. You know, I was opportune here in this university. We went to Singapore to learn what they are doing. Professor Leshe and what's the other man? Greek economist, his friend, Baba Ademosu, who are there. You see, this thing is that after 6 years in primary school, you go to secondary school, you spend the first 3 years there. So 3 years is for you to learn skill. They provided so many things. We borrow money from World Bank And we had all those late machine and many other things in secondary school for these students to learn. But, you know, if we are not doing well in DSS 3, we go to technical school to go and learn work. And from there, we go to polytechnic things. These students end up at all these special institutions. That's how it should be. Because we have lost the track. I was surprised recently that the government said that they want to abolish 6334 education. Where are we going for? One step forward, several steps backward. And that is exactly what So, you know, and they are not thinking the same way. You know, Nigeria here, every organization is on their own niche, silos. We cannot grow with that. And that is what we are preaching Tibet. But your guard at all are not merging. They are not working together, you know, to preach this skill, not certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, powerful chaser. Oyemi.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I want to thank God Almighty for this lecture that has been delivered today. It's a thought-provoking lecture, and it's also an eye-opener. Let me thank also the School of Life Sciences for Now, my question, which I had in mind, also stemmed from the statement of the last contributor, Professor Fashakin. That has been the problem of technical vocational education, which has been the misconception of the public about that aspect of education. I quote Professor Fashakin said, when somebody is not doing well, which means he is saying that technical vocational education is for the never do well. And that has been the problem. I am standing here as a testimony of technical vocational education. I went to trade center, and today I'm a professor by the grace of God. Does that, and I've been in the workshop, he knows, working. And can I be classified as never do well? So I think, thank you very much. I think that misconception has to change. My question now is to the lecturer. How do we change this public misconception about the technical vocational education? Because when you see somebody playing good, you have my vice chancellor calling me Professor Kabeta. I'm proud to be one. And how do we change this misconception? That's why if you pick students, they are not ready to go for that, any of these vocational courses. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We will wish that any of our students, if there is a student that has a question, any students, they understand. Okay, there is one hand at the back. Please, and then I will take one comment from the high table, because I don't want to exclude the members of the high table.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my question is, every final year student, they always carry out a project, a research at the end of their stay in school. And for every research, there is a knowledge gain, there is a discovery found. But what I've learned is that when they are done with the research, they publish a book, and then that's it. They print it out, and the knowledge is not implemented into the society. How do we ensure that every discovery from every research carried out by a final year student is implemented in the society? We see so many countries that they are progressing, whatsoever things they found, they implement it. But in Nigeria, we carry out so many research every year. That's why the conference said we can compete in research with other countries. But when it comes to implementation, we are nowhere. We are going backward. So what can we do as a university to change that narrative? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Short comment, sir.
Want to align with I can see the passion and the fire in me, and some frustration. But I'd like to say that this is the University of Technology. Personally, as an employer of labor, I look forward to hiring anybody from here, especially on top of the skill and Laduka Kitola. I just want you to know that you're still very well. First and foremost, I want to charge this university, another being the University of Technology, to, as from today, from what the young lady said, technology has become far more attainable. We said that a lot are up to make technology learning easy. I want this university to focus on the problems around this environment. Taking, for instance, from agriculture, what is the challenge that we're currently facing? Take data and let the group of university identify you can take data first. And there are many of us in the private sector that are looking to partner with the university. I agree that there's little that the university can do alone, but there are industries that will spring up, even from the problem identified. One, popularization of technology to address challenges in the area of agriculture. This is Ondo State. I don't know what will become of the cocoa farm in the next 15-20 years. What is FUTA going to do? To identify how you are going to provide solution to help the farmers. In solving problems, reward comes in without taking, without sweat. Technology and innovation. Some which in your especially I'm going to recommend this university as part of the university I will partner with Southwest Development Commission in my capacity and development consultant in the House Committee with Southwest Development Commission. But there are many that we can do, so many. I'll be having a side discussion with the management before I leave. The professor said that this should be a business incubation center. What have we done to actually help people out of this? There are people without formal education, but they are genius. We can pick them out. Because of our time, I will not say much, but there are lots of problems waiting for FUTA to solve. As part of the recommendation also to Southwest Development Commission, since they are come to be by law enacted by National Assembly, people having federal projects in this area should look out to the university to give room for students to learn practically while they are carrying out the project. And when they are setting up maintenance, the university should also be there to support. Thank you.
Dear Vice Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, my only contribution is that there should be a way for each department to see, to find a way to have or present practical application of their courses to the students. In our university today, we have what we call faculty lecture programs. Lecture. It's once in a month. Every faculty comes, we do the chart alphabetically. You come, you deliver the lecture, the dean or the presenter will mention the value that each department can add to the society. And it's not just for the students from such faculty, it's for the entire university, and we invite people from the public. So one way or another, the students on their own will pick some of these things on their own and will start practicing them. Take for instance, business studies or accounting or whatever. You can have students of accounting who identify business centers around, who probably are not doing well, assist them, audit their papers, and find a way to suggest ways to improve their businesses to them. It starts from that. I will stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Lecturer, 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, the Vice Chancellor. Let me just quickly respond to some of the questions that were asked earlier. Number one, let me start from the first speaker that actually made a comment that those that finish junior secondary school and don't do well, they're the ones that are sent to technical colleges. It is completely wrong. Completely wrong. It's not that you don't do well. Let me tell you, the registrar NAPTEP went to a technical college and is doing very well now. And this person standing before you, this errand boy, I'm a professor of technical and vocational education, Federal University of Technology, Mina. And I'm going to be delivering my inaugural lecture on 30th of July. And it centers around this topic. I will be pleased if you will join us online so that you can hear a lot about this thing. And let me tell you one thing. The table is turning around. Those people that are saying that they never do well, they are the ones that are controlling the economy now. I'm telling you. The problem of unemployment is because we have neglected TVET. That's the problem. Insecurity is because of lack of attention given to TVET. Because TVET has been marginalized and stigmatized for a long time. But the reality is coming out. Please, if you want to solve this problem, go and ask your children to embrace TVET. Like I said earlier, not everybody can be absorbed into the white-collar job. They are not there. But when they have the skills, they can do something on their own and make a living. So it is not that the people going to TVET don't have head. No. It is that we are going to learn the skill. And what is happening now is, let me tell you, mathematics equation cannot put food on your table. Never. Equation cannot put food on your table. It's for you to convert that equation to practical. Convert the theory to a machine. Convert what you learn in school to practical. That's what we put on your table. A student asks, we do that.
Their projects to practice. While that one is, it looks like the correct thing. The limitations are many. I will say only a few. Number one is that when you finish your project, in your eyes, you may have discovered. But the truth is that you may still be in the process. If somebody cooks beans today and it is well cooked with, maybe you did not use water, you used something else and it brought 30 minutes. Somebody still needs to work on it, to verify, work on it, and probably also standardize, and then also get some form of registration and things like that. So it's a process in most cases. And until you get to the final process, you may not be able to actually commercialize. So that is one reason libraries are full. Yes, it's just this kind of statements are to inspire us. There is no university in the world that their library is not full, including Harvard. Harvard has a library that has 7 stories down, underground, and full of books, full of publications. There is no library in the world. There is no university where the shelves are empty. And there is no university in the world where they produce industries every year, like 2-3 industries every year. There is none. So all we are telling ourselves is, let us do more and let us do better. But it's not like it has to come every day, every time, but let's take it this way. If FUTA has one industry spin-off in 2 years, and the industry survives, take it that we have like 50 universities, federal universities that are of age. Of course, we have like 70, almost 80 federal universities. But you have more than 50 that are matured, graduated many students over generations, have postgraduate students. If 50 of us produces one industry every other year, it means every year we have 25 industries. In 5 years, we will have 100 new industries. It will make a lot of difference. A lot of difference to what we have now. So we are not asking every department, give us industry in a year. We are not even saying every school, give us one industry in 1 year. But if we are together, working together, collaborating, maybe we take along our colleague, Elizabeth, we take along Akunga, we take along Osustek, we take Exu, Rufus Giwa, everybody, we take everybody along, and all of us in 1 year solve one problem for Ondo State. I believe we will be far from where we are. So the charge is not for everybody to, I don't think it's for everybody to be looking at setting up industry every day. But let's work together collectively and then grow the industries. But there is a charge for everybody to acquire skills. So when we talk about skills, it is individual. For industries, let's come together and let industries spring up. Where are the lives of the Oluwa glass? When I say Oluwa glass, some people will say, what is this person talking about? It's about, for some people, it's like we are talking about America. But for the older people, they know that Oluwa glass is indigenous to Ondo State. Well, the charge is for us. No, I charge it. I'm not the lecturer.
Another round of applause for our lecturer and our Vice Chancellor. Quickly, before we move to the next item, I would quickly like to recognize and welcome a member of Futa Governing Council, Professor Adebule Ayokomidada. You are welcome, sir. We have in the house Honorable Kayode Fashaki Ajayi. He is the chairman, Ekiti State House of Assembly Service Commission. You are welcome, sir. We also have the immediate past registrar, University of Benin, our own, Mr. Ademola Bobola. You are welcome, sir. We have in the gathering a former acting librarian, Futa, Mrs. Zainab Falaye. You are welcome, ma'am. We have also the Dean Student Affairs, Futa, Professor David Olarewaju Oke. And of course, we have a Deputy Registrar Student Affairs, Mr. Adu. You are welcome, sir. Let me now invite Professor Oniya for the presentation to the guest lecturer.
Thank you very much. Without much ado, I think the protocol has been laid out already, so we won't waste time about that. We want to appreciate our guest lecturer, Dr. Aminu Mohammed, for the lecture presented, and we have a token of appreciation. May I humbly invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor Adenike Olaji, to help us present this token of appreciation to our guest lecturer. Our guest lecturer, please, you're welcome. Please, round of applause for them.
Thank you very much. When somebody delivers a lecture and it generates a discourse, it shows that the person has communicated, isn't it? Thank you very much. The Registrar NAPTEP, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, ably represented here today by a Tibet specialist, Professor Raymond Emmanuel. Sorry about that. Thank you for this very stimulating lecture. On behalf of the School of Life Sciences, Futa, we wish to present this special award to you as our guest speaker. Thank you for this.
Thank Thank you very much. Let me quickly recognize and welcome Director, Academic Planning FUTA, Professor Awodele, and the Dean, SLEET, Professor Simon Oke. You are welcome, sir. I will now invite Professor Nia for the book launch.
Thank you very much. One of the key programs for today, which is very key, is the book launch of Essentials of Life Sciences, a book series from the School of Life Sciences and a maiden one. It's an innovation of the school led by the Dean, Professor M.K. Oladumoye, and driven by all members of faculty. Today, we are proud to unveil the first in the series of Essentials of Life Sciences and the launch. Of course, the very good academic material must be reviewed before it is presented to the public. And so, we had Professor Philip Oguntade to review the book on our behalf, and he has done justice to that. So I want to invite Dr. Ayoluwa Arebeshola, the University Librarian in Elizabeth University, to present the thoughts of the book reviewer, Professor Philip Oguntade. Dr. Arebeshola, please.
It is a privilege to be here this morning to represent my Vice Chancellor, Professor Philip Oguntunde, the Vice Chancellor of Elizabeth University. It's a privilege to have invited him, and it's also an honor to him to grace this occasion and do this book review, and I'm doing that on his behalf. I recognize the chair of this occasion and the Vice Chancellor FUTA, Professor Adenike Onadiji, other principal officers of the university, the Royal Father of the day, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of NAPTEP, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, the Dean of the School of Life Sciences, distinguished professors, researchers, members of the editorial board, respected scholars, captain of industries, invited guests, students of Federal University of Technology, Akure, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go straight to the book review, straight to the overview of the book. The book is titled Essentials of Life Sciences. The book, Essentials of Life Sciences, is far more than a conventional textbook. Indeed, it provides a foundation for the field of life sciences. It is an impressive scholarly compendium that captures contemporary research, emerging innovations, and practical applications across the broad spectrum of life sciences. Published by the School of Life Sciences, FUTA, in 2026, under the editorial leadership of Professor A.K. Onifade and its distinguished editorial board members. It's interesting to know that this book has 15 eminent scholars that constitute editorial membership for the book. And the book comprises of 539 pages organized in thematic sessions. Institutions. The book is enriched by thoughtful foreword written by the Vice Chancellor and the chair of today's occasion, Professor Adenike Oladiji, who aptly describes the life sciences as the cornerstone of advances in medicine, agriculture, biotechnology, environmental sustainability, and human development, while commending the publication of this book as a resource that bridges classroom learning with real-world challenges. Structure and content of the book. After thorough review, one of the greatest strengths of this publication lies in its logical organization. The editors have arranged chapters into 9 broad thematic areas, namely agriculture and agribusiness, biochemistry, biology, biotechnology, food science and food processing, health and social welfare, microbiology, water resources and water management, and multidisciplinary studies in life sciences. These sections collectively contain over 30 scholarly chapters addressing issues that are highly relevant to contemporary society, including food security, biotechnology, antimicrobial resistance, environmental sustainability, functional foods, water quality, infectious diseases, public health, urban ecology, and climate resilience. This thematic diversity increasingly demands the academic merit of the book. From an academic perspective, this volume deserves commendation for several reasons. One, the chapters are research-driven, evidence-based, and extensively referenced. The contributors successfully integrate current scientific literature with practical realities, particularly with the Nigerian and African context. Secondly, the language is scholarly without becoming unnecessarily technical. Readers with different academic backgrounds can engage meaningfully with the discussions. Thirdly, every chapter concludes with comprehensive references that demonstrate rigorous scholarship and adherence to academic standards. The publication therefore serves simultaneously as a teaching resource, a research reference, a policy guide, and a source of innovation for industry. Relevant to national development, the timing of this publication is particularly significant. The conference theme, as we know, is advancing nation building through science, technology, and innovation. It's perfectly reflected throughout the book. Many chapters directly address national priorities such as sustainable agriculture knowledge. The contributors consistently quality of this publication. One, multidisciplinary coverage by promoting interdisciplinary collaboration. Two, contemporary resource relevance. Virtually every chapter addresses current global and national scientific challenges. Three, strong local content. Although internationally relevant, many chapters examine national Nigerian realities, making the findings directly applicable to local policy and development. Four, practical orientation. The contributors have moved beyond theory to discuss practical applications of research findings. Five, editorial quality. The book demonstrates careful editing, coherent organization, and consistency in publication. After reading through the book, it will be interesting to know that it's very difficult to actually identify areas that need improvement. However, as the book reviewer, Professor Philip Oguntunde, still needs to identify some areas that we need to be welcome for future editions and volumes. And therefore, he has recognized following areas. One, more colored illustrations and graphical summaries. There is need for more colored illustrations and graphical summaries. Yes, we have quite a number of them. However, life sciences, just like health and medicine, requires illustrations, colorful ones, for better knowledge impartation and demonstration. Two, chapter learning objectives and review questions to enhance classroom use. Yes, because looking at the title of the book, Essentials of Life Sciences, is ordinarily supposed to be foundational text for students. And therefore, in order to ensure that learning objectives are achieved, there is need for learning objectives and review questions to be part of the content of the book. Three, expanded discussions on emerging areas such as artificial intelligence. Yes, we have content of artificial intelligence as treated in the book, but there is need for more emerging areas to be discussed in the book. Bioinformatics, talking about collaboration with colleagues in computing to be able to use artificial intelligence, fuzzy logic, to identify areas in solving health problems and other life science challenges. Precision medicine and the rest. Additional international collaborative contributions to further strengthen global perspective. We see that foreign affiliates authors are limited in the book, and therefore subsequent editions and volume need to extend their invitation to foreign authors. And lastly, permit me to make this one professional observation. As a university librarian, and I have the privilege to represent my Vice Chancellor, Professor Tunde Oguntunde Philip, to comment on the bibliographic standards. This publication is presented as a book series 2026. Under internationally accepted publishing standards, a book series is expected to bear an international standard serial number, ISSN, while each individual volume within the series should be assigned its own international standard book number, ISBN. I know that this is the first publication in the series, and subsequent ones will come, which will come in volume, and therefore the volume should have ISBN. And the current, the title book series should have ISSN. This is missing as we speak, but can be amended. The distinction is important. The ISSN, like I said, identify the continuing publication of series as a whole, while the ISBN uniquely identifies such individual volume for purpose of cataloging, acquisition, citation, indexing, and global graphical control. Consequently, when the author cites the series, the ISSN is used. When citing a specific volume, the ISBN is the appropriate identifier. The absence of these internationally recognized identifiers represents a gap that should address subsequent editions. These observations should be viewed not as a criticism, but as a suggestion for an already commendable publication. Intended audience. This publication will be immensely valuable to undergraduate students. Like I said, the book is for both experts and non-experts. It serves as a foundation for life sciences. And also for postgraduate students, for lecturers, for researchers, for professionals in agriculture, biotechnology, microbiology and environmental sciences, policymakers, research institutes, healthcare professionals, libraries across universities and other higher institutions of learning and research institutions. Indeed, the book deserves a prominent place on the shelf of every university library in Nigeria and beyond. Having carefully examined this publication, I consider Essentials of Life Sciences a significant contribution to scientific literature. It successfully combines sound scholarship with practical relevance. It reflects the growing research capacity of the School of Life Sciences, FUTA, and showcases the quality of scholarship being produced within Nigerian University, noting that FUTA is already priding itself as the best technology school in Nigeria. More importantly, it reminds us that scientific research remains one of the most powerful instruments for sustainable national development. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, books remain among humanity's greatest inventions. While laboratories generate discoveries, it is books that preserve knowledge, disseminate ideas, and inspire future generations. Essentials of Life Sciences does precisely that. It documents current scientific knowledge, stimulates intellectual curiosity, and provides practical pathways for solving many of society's pressing challenges. I therefore congratulate the Editor-in-Chief, Professor A.K. Onifade, the editorial board membership, and all contributing authors, and the School of Life Sciences, FUTA, for producing this outstanding scholarly work. Thank you for listening. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor of Elizabeth University, Engineer Professor Philip Ogutunde, I heartily recommend Essentials of Life Sciences to you all. I have no doubt that this publication will make a lasting contribution to scientific knowledge, teaching, research, and national development. Thank you once again for your attention.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to say with humility and pride that the Federal University of Technology, Akure, is the best Federal University of Technology in Nigeria. Before I invite Professor Nia for the book launch proper, let me recognize and welcome Director CC Ifuta, Professor Eunice Oladipo. You are welcome, ma. Professor Nia, sir.
Thank you very much. For the first time since I came to this lecture, I can smile. Yes, you see me smiling now. I clap for my smile now. I don't show it very often, really. And why am I smiling? Because I just listened to a very balanced review of this book. Please, a round of applause to the reviewer. That's why I said earlier that an academic material that is not reviewed is just nothing. And you all listened to the comments that came from this. So I think if I'm going to judge this book, it will be an alpha, definitely. The gaps are noted, and of course, being the first, subsequent ones, it will definitely be addressed. So now we come to the session where this one is open to the public. So if you want the details of what the reviewer just told us, you have to grab your own copy. And that is where we are now. As the saying goes, there's no free lunch in Freetown. So you have to pay for your lunch when you are in Freetown. Right. So we are going to go to the session of the book launch right now. And we have a list of guests, friends, colleagues, and well-wishers all across the sector in the Nigerian public domain to do that for us. But before we start the launching proper, we want to unveil this book officially to the public. And to do that, we want to invite all members of the high table, led by our host, Vice Chancellor, to please come forward to take an official photograph to unveil the book officially to the Nigerian public, ably represented by this audience. Please, round of applause for them. All right. Please reveal the book so that the camera can capture all the details, please. Okay. Please take as many as you can. This is beautiful. All right. Please, each one of you should please hold on to that book. Don't drop it. You can go back to your seats. I will explain why you are doing that shortly. Please don't drop it. Just hold on to it, please. Once you touch it, you just can't leave it. It's impossible. All right. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start calling up our launchers, I want to introduce you to a very, very, very special card that we have produced in the School of Life Sciences. And I'm unveiling it here now. It's a donor card for all of us to actually support this publication that has just been unveiled. So this card will be given across by the ushers. You fill in the card. There are two parts and there's a sprocket in between the two. So once you are done, you tear along the sprocket. The upper part is for you. The lower part, please, you give back to the ushers. So, the members of the high table will launch this donor card. A copy will be given to each one of them to fill, and of course, will return. This is the way by which they are launching these essentials of life sciences. Now, the question is, what is the worth of this book in economic terms? So that we have an idea of what we're actually talking about. Now, as you can see, the production is top-notch. The content has been reviewed as highly scientific and very, very good for the general public. The cost on each one is 25,000 naira only. Please clap for that very, very friendly price in modern day Nigeria. It's 25,000 naira. So, if you are going to do a launching of this, we don't expect less than 40,000 naira. You can't at least give the actual price of the book. That will not be fair, really. So if it costs 25,000 to produce, then you can start from 40,000. I would have said 50 times 2, but I'm being very considerate. So let's do 40,000 naira, and then you can cascade it all the way to the top. We accept millions of naira in School of Life Sciences. Money does not scare us. We are not paupers, so you can try us if you are going to go wow. And of course, the card also has a... So we have the cards too, which also denominates in dollars. If you prefer to launch in dollars, you are also free. So please, the ushers with the donor cards, please come forward. Let everybody on the high table have a copy, so we don't bother them to step forward to do the official launching. And please make sure you get the copy of the school from them as they do so. Please, a round of applause to them again. And thank you very, very much, and very much for your wonderful donation and contribution to our maiden edition of book series. So, for today, we have invited some notable Nigerians to join us in unveiling this book, and at the same time to help us in raising the much needed financial support to sustain its production and to also add value to research in the School of Life Sciences. Practically all phases of life cannot do without life sciences. That is the origin. Engineering, physical sciences, name it, medicine, agriculture, they all owe their origin to life sciences, the critical science courses in that faculty. So we are the mother of life, we are the mother of culture, we are the mother of technology, we are the mother of advancement, we are the mother of the world. So we are the very, our dragnet has caught quite a lot of people, and it is my pleasure to kickstart this launching by inviting our chief launcher designate, who has the sole responsibility for being the very first person, I repeat, the very first person to launch the very first book in the School of Life Sciences. And this we expect to be phenomenal. That is, nobody here today should beat it, and nobody in subsequent years to come should even beat it. So I invite High Chief Engineer Omoya, the chief launcher of the occasion, to tell us how many millions of naira he's launching the book with. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause.
Thank you so much. Protocols, and Shaloma, regards from my principal. My own name is Dr. Oladapo Babalola. I'm representing High Chief Engineer David Omoya, the MD CEO of Grumo International. By standing on SCT protocol, my principal considered these as a real privilege to be the first chief launcher of the essentials of life sciences. This is a privilege that is not taken for granted and is highly important to him. However, we also want to commend all the members of the editorial team led by Professor Bonifade. We also appreciate every individual contributors to the pages of the book. Life sciences is the heart of every human progress and deepen understanding of life, improve healthcare, strengthen food security, scientific innovation, and this book definitely enriches knowledge, and is both timely and valuable. And so therefore, this launch is not taken for a ride. And so my principal, High Chief Engineer David Omoya has decided to launch the book with a open sum of 500,000 for 2 copies. Thank you so much. God bless you, and may this be a continual process.
Thank you very much, High Chief Omoya. I believe I'm speaking to him, not his representative. And permit me to thank you profusely. For that handsome first installment donation of 500,000 naira. We appreciate the first installment. That is the part he did not add to the donation. It's the first installment. Right, so please tell High Chief Engineer that we appreciate that first installment. We'll definitely come knocking on the door for the second, third, and fourth installment. So, right, we are taking 4 installments from him, please. Thank you very much, sir. Please pass our message across. So, humbly, we say that, sir. Thank you very much. So, if you multiply 500,000 by 4, I think that gives you. Is that 200 million? Oh, sorry. So the zeros are not up. So that will be 2 million naira only. That is our final destination because we raised him so high. We have high regards for him, and we know he will not let us down. We can take a program pledge report. We'll take that, sir. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause again for High Chief Engineer David Omoya for that donation of 500,000 first installment in launching the book. Right. Next, I would want to invite the MD of John Vance. I hope he's around. Dr. Tomi Omotosho. Is he around yet? Okay. Is he around? Okay. We'll wait for him. Next, I want to invite Mr. John Omodara from Leadway Assurance PLC. Mr. John Omodara, is he around too? Mr. John Omodara. All right, round of applause for him. Yes. Leadway is going to lead the way now. Yes, your name must speak for you, sir. You're welcome.
Good afternoon, all. I think it's afternoon. The Vice Chancellor, order protocol to be observed. Thank you for recognizing Leadway. On behalf of Leadway Group, we want to support this launch with a token of 50,000.
Sorry, I think I didn't hear the millions that Mr. John said. I was doing some administrative things. Please, can anybody remind me of what Leadway gave us? 5 million. Real millions? All right, please, a round of applause for Mr. John Mondara. Lead Reassurance PLC. You are doing very well, and we actually appreciate that. Yeah. Larry Mark International, are you here? Larry Mark International? Okay. Larry Mark International, a round of applause. You are welcome, sir. I have received your love notes. I was tempted to shout hallelujah, but since you are here, you can shout it yourself.
Good afternoon, everybody. All protocols observed. On behalf of Larry Mark International, we launched the book with £1 million. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause to Larry Mark International. So please let him have his 6 copies. I'm quite sure, sir, that the book you are taking with you is going to do immense transformation to your company. You've listened to the review, and I know that's why you are going for as many as 6 copies, with £1 million and also as the first installment. Please, a round of applause for Larry Mark International. Believe me, sir, we are definitely going to follow up on subsequent installments, because Yoruba say, "Koni tani bitoti wa, koni tombe lagbara Ọlọ́run." And may God bless your hustle, God bless your enterprise, God bless your company as you have blessed the School of Life Sciences. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that so much. Please, a round of applause to Larry Mark again. It's my pleasure to invite next to help us launch this book in addressing critical academic and infrastructure deficits in the School of Life Sciences. Being a maiden school, we are just starting to work. So we could do with as much of support as we can for financial, academic, and of course infrastructural development. And that is the key message we want to pass across. We need to sustain this academic publication. Let me invite most humbly to come next Honorable Kayode Fashokin, the Chairman, Ekiti State House of Assembly. Honorable Fashokin, sir. Please, a round of applause. Honorable Kayode Fashokin. Right. The book only doesn't address the academia. Like you had in the review, it's also good for policy makers. And of course, when we talk about policy makers, you know who policy makers are. They don't only lie in the academia, they are also in the politics. So, Honorable Fashokin, sir, you are welcome. We are not opposed to dollars. Just to say that ahead, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother. All protocol duly observed. My name is Honorable Fashokin Kayode. On behalf of myself, I will support or launch the book through the dean of the faculty, so we don't cause unnecessary problem to the financial institution. Thank you.
In the days of EFCC and ICPC, there are so many anti-graft agencies in the country now. And that is why donations like that, I only can interpret. So, but for the sake of his anonymity, please, a round of applause for him. My spirit communicated with ease. And at that spiritual realm, I was actually wowed by the amount he's going to give to us. Please, a round of applause for him again. Honorable sir, Bonitondo, we appreciate that huge amount of money that you are going to give to us. God bless you, sir. Right, next to come to support this, our launch for this novel publication of the School of Life Sciences is none other than Engineer Samuel Kolapo, who happens to be the MD, Pyramid Integrated Mutual Development Company, Nigeria. Engineer Kolapo, sir. A round of applause. Those steps are not cheap.
All protocol duly observed. In appreciation of research done and the quality intellectual output of our input into this book, I want to launch the book for the sum of 1 million naira. And also buy 10 copies for another 1 million. So 7 out of 10, I'd like to request that it be placed at the university library.
Please, a round of applause again. When I woke up this morning, the very first song I heard, right, on the radio, I will not chant it yet. I want to prove it wrong when the next awardee comes to take the microphone. But the hymn was sounding like millions, 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 millions. And it's coming to be a reality gradually. Indeed, I should listen to that song every day. Today is for SLX, tomorrow may just be my day. Who knows? And next after may be yours. Who knows? So if you want the lyrics, you can see me after the program with your millions to get the million lyrics as well. All right, we move on. Next, I want to invite to come and help us in launching this book, Lion Olatunji Jubril. A round of applause, please, for Lion Olatunji Jubril. Oh, it's not around. Okay. We'll move forward, and I'd like to call Pastor Boluwaji Alabi. Oh, you see what I'm saying? I've just been informed by the team. Okay, please come forward, sir. A round of applause. Please don't forget my song. Millions, 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 millions.
Let somebody shout hallelujah. Let's stand on the existing protocol. We are a friend of the faculty, and the Bible says when the foundation is destroyed, what shall the righteous do? We have been partnering with School of Life Sciences since a year ago now, and we have contributed, as my dean have said, underground to the production cost with a total sum of 1 million naira. And since our company Pyramid Estate Nigeria Limited, there is hierarchy, and my MD presently is in US, the extension of our company, and he has not given me instruction that I should donate more. I have the belief that we continue to be a friend of the faculty, and we continue to do more. We have started last year, we repeated same this year, and next year we are still going to do it multiples. God bless you. I'm wishing you a wonderful celebration. God bless you, sir.
God bless you, sir. Yes, we acknowledge with gratitude and thanks the initial seed money of ₦1 million, and of course the relentless contribution from your company to our nascent school. Thank you very much, sir. Right. And on behalf of all of us here, we communicate our gratitude to the MD. Kindly please convey that to him. And since you don't have the authority to make a pronouncement, we have the authority to make a request. Right. So at least you can also do that on our behalf. So on behalf of the teaming students here, great Futurians! Great Futurians! Great Futurians! We humbly request that the MD should also launch what he has produced with another ₦1 million. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. All right, quickly, we move on. We now move on to the, let me check whether we are done with our guests. Yes, we move on to the academia. We have colleagues here from all over the country, and we want them to go back to their respective institutions with a copy of this groundbreaking publication, which is going to be very useful in their libraries for their students, of course, and as well for their teaming colleagues in their respective institutions. So may I humbly invite here to officially launch this book, Essentials of Life Sciences, Professor Edeba Morege, Vice Chancellor, University of Benin. Yes, sir. Please a round of applause for him. Ably represented by Deputy Vice Chancellor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, as a civil servant, we do not announce whatever we have in the public. I can assure you that by the grace of God, our Vice Chancellor will send a very substantial message to the Dean of the faculty. We are going to buy 5 copies, but I can assure you a substantial amount of money for that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Prof. I think there's only one key word in that speech, substantial. So please, let the School of Life Science underline that keyword. There's only one keyword, substantial. It was repeated twice. Thank you, sir. It is noted. Next, I want to invite our very own Professor Francis Ibasan, the Vice Chancellor, Macpherson University. Sir, you're welcome. Professor Ibasan. Right. After he has given us his substantial donation, I will say 1 or 2 things about Professor Ibasan.
Thank you very much. All protocol duly observed. On behalf of the management of the university, we will take 5 copies for 250,000.
Thank you, Prof. Being a colleague as well, he has done substantially well. Being the don of a university and the head of his institution, he has done substantially well. Because what he has just mentioned, he did as a Vice Chancellor. I'm sure he's here to discuss with the governing council of the institution. If you had done that ahead of this meeting, I'm sure it would have been more substantial. So, Professor Ibasan, sir, all the way from Macpherson, we take that as the first installment, pending when you discuss with your governing council. Then we expect the second and final installment. Please, a round of applause for you, please. Let the Secretariat note that McPherson has given the first installment as the Vice Chancellor. We expect a second installment from the Governing Council of the University. Thank you, sir. Next, may I humbly invite Professor Fashakin, Dr. Sunday Ajayegbe, Director, Ekiti State Polytechnic, Ishan. Dr. Sunday Ajayegbe. Okay, sorry, sir.
You are welcome, sir. Please, he came all the way from the veteran. A round of applause, sir.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Ekiti State Polytechnic, I support this launch with a token of 200,000 for 4 copies.
Thank you so much, sir. 200,000 naira for 4 copies. Please, a round of applause. I will not belabor you, sir, because the dean actually informed me that you have been a friend of the school and that you will so remain. So I will not belabor you on this first installment also. We will knock on your door again for the second installment very soon. We'll give you some time to rest on this donation. Maybe we'll give you 2 weeks to rest. Then after 2 weeks, we'll come again to knock on your door, sir. Thank you very much, sir. There's a round of applause for Dr. Ajay. Okay, so quickly in the next 5 minutes, we are going to end this session and move ahead. We have some of our very friends here, our friends who have actually been supportive of the FUTA system. They've led the university in various capacities in the past, and we are proud to have them in our midst. Some have served in other institutions in very credible and applaudable positions, did very well, and came back home with flying colors. Some of them are here with us today, and we would also like to invite them, not by title, but more by recognition, for being more or less very, very, very good, prominent leaders, mentors, and of course, exceptional disciplinarians in the fields that they have served in the past. Leading the team, I want to invite Professor Adebisi Balogun, who was a former Vice Chancellor of this university and is ably represented by Professor T.A. Olusi. Professor Balogun, please. A round of applause.
All protocols duly observed. Professor Balogun extends his warm greetings to this August gathering. He is unavoidably absent because he has an appointment with Lagos State Government where he is currently serving. And he has directed me to launch this book for 100,000 naira for 2 copies. Thank you.
A round of applause for Professor Balogun, please.
Professor Lucy, sir, you didn't add your own. Okay, don't worry, sir. I'll get across to you. Please, a round of applause for Professor Adebisi Balogun. Also, we have with us Professor Guntu Ile, who also was Vice Chancellor at now Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology. Professor Guntu Ile, is he still with us? Okay. Please let me have the done that he did. Madam, let me have the card, let me have it. Yes, he has done the deed. Yes, so please a round of applause to Professor Ogunju Ile, please. I had he left, but before he left, he did the needful, yes, the very needful. And also seated with us is another former Vice Chancellor. You see, there are many of them here that FUTA is just producing. And I'm happy to invite Professor Tom Ofuya. A round of applause, please. Professor Ofuya, please. It's a season of Vice Chancellors. So, a round of applause. Prof has not retired, though. Please, so don't think he has retired. He's still in active service.
All protocols to be observed. On behalf of myself, my wife, and the Ofuya dynasty, I'm launching 3 copies of the book for 150,000.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you so much. We appreciate that. Very generous. God bless you, sir. We also have within us a former, yes. Okay. Yes. We also have within us a former Deputy Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Akimbogu. I think I saw him seated somewhere. Professor Akimbogu is somewhere. Oh, yes, right there. So, Professor, may I invite you? Oh, you have done that. Okay, Professor Akimbogu is very shy. So we can understand the boy. He's grabbing a copy. So that means I'm very sure he has done the needful. Yes, also, I'm saving one for the last. And that is going to be very, very exceptional. So quickly, let me also invite Mr. Bobola, the former registrar of the University of Benin, also one of our very own. Is he still around? Mr. Bobola? He stepped out. Okay. When he steps back in, we are going to bring him up here to also support this academic enterprise. Then I also want to invite Professor Fashakin, the Chairman Governing Council, Ekiti State Polytechnic, I think, yes, and a member of the Board of Technical Education. Professor Fashakin is the one rounding off this session of book launch, and that's why I saved the best for the last. Thank you, sir.
I will not be the last in Jesus' name. Praise the Lord. I'm very shy. I know that anyway. My rector is here, and then you should have spoken on my behalf because I will get approval from you, whatever it is. So, but my brother, thank you. Where you go, I will go. You are very close to me. You're a brother, you're a friend, and just because of you, I'm here today. So I'm supporting whatever you are doing here with the sum of 100,000.
Prof, sir, thank you very, very much for closing up this session of the book launch. So please, to everybody in the audience, the ushers will go around with these donor cards. Nobody is left out, nobody is cut off. So please kindly collect a copy of this, fill it, both sessions, tear up this pocket. The top part is yours, the bottom part belongs to the School of Life Science for documentary. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. Please, a round of applause to all our donors.
Thank you very much, sir. Most people didn't know that Professor Fashakin is a spiritual man. I was at a meeting with him and he needed somebody to pray, and he asked that anybody that is led in the spirit to pray. So he's a spiritual man. Thank you very much once again. We are now moving to the award ceremony. Let me bring back Professor Oniya for that also. Professor Oniya, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, very quickly, we want to recognize some individuals along two categories. The first category is that of recognition for what they do in the society and what they stand for. And the second is a category of mentors in this system who actually slaved, hustled, and thrived to ensure that our academic architecture does not crumble or stumble. We appreciate all they did during the time they were with us, and today we are going to honor them for the years of selfless service, for the thousands of graduates they have produced at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels, for the leaders they have made who now at various industries captain and anchor institutions. We appreciate them for all they have done, and today they will also be recognized. So we are starting with the first category. Technical, I hope you are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to invite to this lectern our first awardee in the first thematic session. I join me to welcome Engineer Samuel Kolapo. A round of applause, sir. Engineer Samuel Kolapo. You're welcome, sir. For those who want to transfer their donations, the account number is flagged on the screen. You can do that ASAP. Kolajo, Engineer Samuel Kolajo. I'm sorry about that. Engineer Samuel Kolajo. Please, a round of applause for you.
Mr. Samuel Kolajo is an entrepreneur with business interests in different sectors of the economy. He started his former working career with Alpha Associates Limited as a registrar from 1987 to 1989. He then moved to Financial Equity Limited, now Stanbic Securities Limited, from 1990 to 1993. He was a pioneer staff of the organization and was saddled with the responsibility of the setup process. Mr. Samuel is a business consultant and also sits on the board of several companies that deals in the oil and gas, mining, technology, manufacturing, and transportation industries. He is the managing director of Alva Company Limited, ALVAC, a renowned cash management company in Nigeria. The company's operation is regulated by the Central Bank of Nigeria. He belongs to notable organizations including American Society for Mining, Metallurgy and Exploration, SME, Nigerian Explorers Consultative Association, NECA, Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, Nigerian Charter of International Chambers of Commerce, ICC, Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce, NACC, among others, and a social club, Ikeja Golf Club. Mr. Samuel has attended various seminars and conferences in several countries of the world. He is married with children.
Award Sciences, Professor M.K. Oladumoye. Dean, you are welcome.
Thank you. This is an award of excellence, particularly for your philanthropy and humanitarian services to people around you. Presented to you by the School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure, presented Excellence and Humanitarian Award to Mr. S.O. Kolajo, Managing Director, Integrated Company Limited, Lagos, to the 21st day of July 2026. Congratulations.
Dean, please. A minute. Dean, please. Next, I want to invite one of the next awardee, Pastor Boluwaji Alabi. Please come forward. Right. Please, a round of applause for him. Pastor Boluwaji Alabi. Technical, please come forward, sir. Alabi. Alabi.
Pastor Bolu Ajayi is the MD CEO of Pyramid Estates Limited, a leading Nigerian real estate development, and Pastor Bolu Ajayi is the MD CEO of Pyramid Estates Limited, a leading Nigerian real estate development and property management company incorporated on 27th October 1998 with its headquarters in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Since its establishment, the company has built a reputation for excellence in the planning, development, management, and marketing of residential, commercial, and mixed use of real estate projects. Today, Pyramid Estates Limited continues to position itself as a trusted partner in Nigeria's real estate industry by delivering innovative property solutions, maintaining high ethical standards, and contributing meaningfully to urban development. Through its unwavering commitment to excellence, the company remains dedicated to creating enduring value for clients, investors, stakeholders, and the community it serves.
Not Ajayi as rendered. Please, we invite the Dean again, Professor Emike Oladumoye, to present the award to Pastor Boluwaji Alabi, our distinguished recipient.
This award is Icon of Education Award. Pastor Bolu Alabi has been given scholarship to at least 150 students in the Ekiti State Tertiary Institution annually for the past 10 years. He has given us 1 million naira last session to be given as 100,000 naira for our best quality students for the next 10 years. And he has supported this application to the tune of 1 million naira in the first installment. So, as a result of this, giving him an award as an icon of education cannot be overemphasized. This award from School of Life Sciences, the Federal University of Technology Akure, presented to Pastor Boluwaji Alabi, MD, CEO, Pyramid Estate Limited, Abuja, as an icon of education. Today, 21st day of July 2026. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for all you do, and may God bless you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Right, sir. Thank you. All right. A round of applause, please. Please, a round of applause for Pastor Alabi. It's really an icon to be celebrated. Next is the chief launcher of today's event. That is I Chief Engineer Dave Omoya. Is being conferred with a very special, distinguished award. Engineer Moya, please. A round of applause. Doctor, sorry for disturbing you. Right. I also remember that you have not launched the book in your personal capacity. We'll talk about that later.
FNSE is a unique professional based on a track record of performances as a public servant, accomplished consultant, and a contractor of repute. He is a registered civil engineer born on 19th of January 1960 at Enrijinyo, Ekiti, in Ekiti State. Omoya was a trailblazer in the course of his education. He was one of the only 5 pupils with A in the class of 80 at the primary school leaving certificate at St. Paul's Anglican LA United Primary School, Enrijinyo, Ekiti, in 1971. He was the best overall student at the West African School Certificate at Ekiti Baptist High School, Igede, Ekiti, and the overall best student at the Cambridge Advanced Level Examination at the Polytechnic Ibadan with A in Mathematics and C in Technical Drawing. His final examination ran semester at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, was thoroughly smashed with 6 A's and B's on a scale of 5. Engineer Omoya's master's course at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, was at distinction level with scores in advanced mathematics and advanced statistics at 93% and 94% respectively in 2006. The young Omoya started his impressive career as pupil engineer with the Kwara State Utility Board, Ilorin, in 1984 as a core member and was deployed to the operating and maintenance of Asa Dam. At the Ondo State Water Corporation, he was appointed the first engineer in charge of Egbe Dam. Engineer Omoya established Dromo International Company Limited in 1992 and Omoya and Associates in 1994 and had remained the chief executive officer of both companies to date. Dromo International Company Limited is a household name in Ekiti State based on track record of performance on construction of durable roads as well as comprehensive rehabilitation of the 3.6-kilometer Ijigbo-Ilawe Road in Ado Ekiti.
Applause for Engineer Omoya. I also want to invite the Dean of the School of Life Sciences, Professor M.K. Oladumoye, to present the award, please. Please, sir, this session is for you. Don't worry, you are the Dean of our school, sir.
Praise the Lord. The School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure, presented to High Chief Engineer D.F. Omoya, CEO, Dromo International, Akure, this award of education advancement and for supporting educational activities in our university. Today, 21st day of July, 2026. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations. Kábíyèsí, sir. Ẹ̀yin ló kàn kábíyèsí. Thank you. Please, a round of applause. Kábíyèsí, sir, ẹ má bínú sí wa o. Ẹ̀yin ló kàn. Nítorí àṣà wa, màá tọrọ àforíjì lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó wà níjókòó tí ò gbọ́ èdè Yorùbá. Tí n bá ń sọ òyìnbó sí kábíyèsí afẹ́dàbí àrífín torí tọba làṣẹ. Ọba dẹ̀ bá lórí ohun gbogbo. Wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ ìkọ́nú àwọn ọba káàárọ̀ òjíire. Mo fẹ́ fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ kábíyèsí fún oore tí wọ́n ṣe fún wa. A kì í pe ọba gba owó lọ́wọ́ ọba, ṣùgbọ́n àwa la máa ń wá ọrẹ fún ọba. Kábíyèsí wá, wọ́n fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ jókòó, wọ́n dẹ̀ gba àpò ìwé láti fi ọkàn wọn tọ́ nǹkan tí a ṣe ń bí. Ìwé tí a gbé jáde ní òní, kábíyèsí náà fún wa ní owó. Mo wá fẹ́ ká fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dìde ká kígbe kábíyèsí o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ jẹ́ ká dìde dúró. Kábíyèsí o. Ẹ bá ń fẹ́ àbá. Ẹ ṣé o. Ẹ joyè pẹ́ o. A máa rí yín bá o. Ara máa mókun ẹ pẹ́ fún wa. Please, once again, kábíyèsí o. Ẹ ṣé kábíyèsí. Ẹ pẹ́ fún wa o. So it seems Kabesi wants to take his leave, and he has done justice by honoring this occasion. We appreciate him so much for that. Next is the second thematic area, or group rather, for awards to be given today. And this category of recipients, like I said earlier, were colleagues who have served in the system and are retired. They did very well, served well, and produced a lot of workforce into the Nigerian and global capital market. To present this session of awards, I also want to invite one of our very ancestor in this university, Professor Lasende. It's so good to have you around with us, sir. And being the foremost retired person seated, we will appreciate if you induct these retirees into the College of Retirees as you are seated. It's always good to see you, sir. Ever young, ever fresh, ever strong. May God bless you, sir, for all you do. So the very first recipient of the Meritorious Award for Long Service is Venerable Professor E.O. Dada. Please, a round of applause. He retired from the Department of Microbiology, Federal University of Technology, Akure.
Professor Ebenezer Oluyemi Dada is a professor of public health and parasitology. He was born in Efalaye, Ekiti State in the early 50s. He finished his primary education at Aberdeen School, University of Ibadan in 1964 and his secondary school at Ijere Ekiti in 1969. He bagged his BSc Zoology degree in 1991 and MSc Applied Entomology and Parasitology in 1993 at the University of Jos and taught as secondary school teacher in Jos till 1997. He joined the services of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in 1988 as an assistant lecturer in the Department of Biology and later to the Microbiology Department and rose to the rank of a professor in 2016. During his services in Microbiology Department, he served in several positions as postgraduate coordinator, examination officer, industrial training coordinator, to mention a few. His inaugural lecture on the 5th of October 2021 was the first in the School of Life Sciences. Professor Ebenezer Oluyemi Dada is married to Mrs. J.M. Dada, a director of nursing services at the Federal Medical Center, Owo. He retired statutorily and meritoriously from the services of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, on 6th of October 2022.
Professor Lassa Idisa to present the award to the recipients.
School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure, presents this plaque to you, Professor E.O. Dada, distinguished at the Department of Microbiology, full-time. You can see this one very well. Meritorious service and mentorship. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Professor E.O. Dada. Professor and Mrs. Please, yes. Congratulations. We will always wish you a happy retirement for all you have done, sir. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Next, we want to invite Professor Ajele, who retired from the Department of Biochemistry, also blazing the trail while in service. Professor Ajele, sir.
Professor Joshua Olufemi Ajele was born on December 14, 1954 in Iju, Akure North Local Government Area of Ondo State. He was a distinguished Nigerian biochemist and professor at the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa. Professor Ajele has made significant contributions to biochemistry, particularly in enzymology and enzyme biotechnology. Professor Ajele's educational journey began at St. Matthew's Primary School in Iju, Ondo State, from January 1962 to December 1967. He attended Anglican Grammar School Iju Togbolu from January 1969 to June 1973. He pursued his higher education at the University of Ife, now Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, where he earned a BSc in biochemistry, an MSc in biochemistry, and a PhD in biochemistry. Within FUTA, Professor Ajele has been instrumental in academic and administrative development, including coordinator of the Department of Biochemistry, acting head of the department, and head of departments and sub-dean School of Sciences. He has served as external examiner for undergraduate and postgraduate program at several Nigerian universities. Professor Ajele is actively involved in community development and religious activities. He is married to Mrs. Ajele and blessed with wonderful children and grandchildren. Professor Joshua Olufemi Ajele retired statutorily and meritoriously from the services of the university on 13th December 2024.
I also want to invite Emeritus Professor Lasende to do us the honors of presenting the award to the recipients.
School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure presents to you very proudly for meritorious service and mentorship, Professor N.J.O. Ajele, Department of Biochemistry, FUTA. Congratulations. On this day, July 21, 2026. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Prof. and Mrs. We will always wish you a happy retirement. You've labored, you've earned it. Please enjoy it, and God help you, sir. Congratulations. And there are 4 recipients, but 1 more to go. The 4th person is not around. So, bringing the rear, we have Professor O.O. Odeyemi to be represented by Professor B.O. Oti. Please, a round of applause. Professor Odeyemi retired from the Department of Biology.
Professor Olushola Olasunbo Odeyemi was born in May 1953 at Ilawe, Ekiti State, Nigeria. She attended St. Patrick's Primary School, Ondo, and St. Leo's Secondary School, Ondo, before proceeding to the University of Ibadan for a bachelor's degree, where she obtained a BSc degree in zoology in 1978, with specialization in entomology in 1980 and PhD zoology, all from the University of Ibadan. She also has a certificate in pest control from Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute, Ibadan, in 1982. She joined the services of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, on 1st January 1984 as assistant lecturer in the Department of Biology and rose through the ranks to become a professor in 2002. She has served the university in various management positions, including, but not limited to, acting head of Department of Biology, Pioneer Associate Director, Pre-Degree Science Program, Pioneer Associate Director, University Diploma in Science Program, Pioneer Director, Center for Entrepreneurship and Gender Issues in Science and Technology. She is the Pioneer Vice Chancellor, Chrisland University, Abeokuta, Ogun State, from 2015 to 2016. She has won several travel and research grants, including Third World Organization of Women in Science and Organization of Women in Science in Developing World, amongst others. Professor Olushola Olasunbo Odeyemi is a member, Nigerian Association of Women Academics, Academics, member National Committee of Women and Development Ondo State Branch, and also National Association of Women in Science, Technology and Mathematics Ondo State Branch, among others. She is an amiable, compassionate teacher and mentor. Professor Odeyemi is blessed with a wonderful family. Her hobbies include reading novels and magazines, listening to news and movies. Professor Olushola Olasunbo Odeyemi retired statutorily and meritoriously from the services of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in May 2023.
Odeyemi, once again, Emeritus Professor Lassa Inde to do the honors.
School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure presents to you Professor O.O. Odeyemi for your meritorious service and mentorship this day, July 21, 2026. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Professor O. Odeyemi. Yes, the photograph for the records. Please convey to her our appreciation and wishing her a very happy retirement. Thank you, Prof, for doing the honors. Right, so that is the last of the recipients of the awards. Please, there's a Toyota Camry by the plate number AKR 875SG. Please, if you are the owner of the vehicle, you are requested to move it as you are impeding the exit of some other vehicles. Please, once again, Toyota Camry AKR 875SG. If you are the owner of the vehicle, kindly step out to move it out of the way. Thank you very much, and thank you for all you have done for us today. God bless you all.
Thank you very much. Another round of applause for all the awardees and for all our speakers since the start of this program. We are moving ahead. Please, if you are sitting far, can you just move closer? We want to take the keynote. Speaker wants to take his address, and of course, he is the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Professor Olushola Babatunde Kehinde. He's been represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor of that university, Professor A. Adebayo. So let's welcome him to the podium as he delivers the keynote address for this conference. Please let's applaud him as he's coming.
Thank you. Permit me to rest on the existing protocol. It's been a long day for every one of us here. I bring greetings from our Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Professor O.B. Kehinde, who would have loved to be here, himself being a life scientist, but duties called, and he has sent me to represent you. My name is Kolawole Adebayo, and I'm a former Deputy Vice Chancellor, Development of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. The Vice Chancellor of Federal University of Technology, Akure, Professor Adenike Oladiji. The guest lecturer, Dr. Mohammed Aminu Mohammed, ably represented, sir. The Dean, School of Life Sciences, Professor Kolawole Olagunwe. The Chairman of the Local Organizing Committee, Professor Anthony K. Onifade. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the great students of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I bring you greetings from the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Funab, on this occasion of the School of Life Sciences International Conference at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa. It is a core duty of the academia to explore national and international themes dialogues, and issues in ways that other sections of the human world do not. This is because the academia, as the core and the fulcrum of the world's intellect, can only remain vibrant, responsive, and carry out its core duties when deep thoughts, critical thinking, soul searching, and intellectual discourse become a routine and create new knowledge, birth new skills, and open the doors for new behavior. Life sciences as a collective for the body of scientific fields studying living organisms is multidisciplinary in nature and explore the human world from microscopic organisms to the intricacies of the genetic fiber of life through to complex ecosystems within which these organisms operate and thrive. Life sciences, therefore, provide the foundation for applied scientific fields like agriculture, medicine, environmental sciences, breeding, and ecology. Against this background, the theme of this conference is germane as it posits the leverage attained by the study of life sciences against the tangible ambition of evidence-based nation building, using connectors of science, technology, and innovation. For us at Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta Funa, we have actioned these tenets by using the triumvirate of science, technology, and innovation to build a niche for our university by producing graduates who play major roles in enhancing food production, developing pest and disease-tolerant crops, breeding livestock that are best suited for our environment, while producing eggs, meat, and milk in commercial quantities. Beyond the farms, our endeavors in environmental sciences, engineering, veterinary medicine, computing, biosciences, physical sciences, as well as food and nutrition, have gained us high repute among the committee of universities. During this conference, I have no doubt that researchers from the university's research institute, corporate organizations gathered here will explore the theme in ways that provide insight, if not solutions, for the real problems of today's world. There are real problems in healthcare and pharmaceutical, environmental sciences, and agriculture, where the science that we profess, the technologies that we develop, and the innovations that we create become more meaningful and life-changing. Let us therefore use this opportunity to share our thoughts, critique our theories, and test our hypotheses, such that at the end of the conference, we shall all become more refreshed and high-spirited to advancing nation building from every corner of our laboratories, workshops, farms, and fields. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the conference and continue to advance the cause of nation building through science, technology, and innovation. Thank you very much.
Shall we sustain the applause for the representative of our keynote speaker? Let me invite Professor Oniya. Professor Oniya, please.
All right. Thank you very much, keynote speaker, Professor Kendi, all the way from Federal University of Agriculture. Abeokuta. All right. We were expecting that the Vice Chancellor will send us okra and beans. That is his area of specialization. He's a plant breeder. Professor Kende, sir. So I said we were expecting that the Vice Chancellor will send us some beans and okra. Being a plant geneticist, and that is his area, but we can't see bags of cowpea or bags of okra. It's coming. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Right. So we want to appreciate Professor Kende for coming to deliver this keynote address, and we have a little presentation for him to show our gratitude. So I want to invite once again Professor Kende to please come forward to receive this special gift of appreciation on behalf of the School of Life Sciences. So, please, technical. Professor
Olushola Babatunde Kehinde was born in Abeokuta, Ogun State on December 22, 1964. He obtained the BSc Agricultural Biology from the University of Ibadan in 1987. He bagged his master's in 1990 and his doctorate degree in 1994 from the same university. This prolific teacher and researcher began his teaching and research career at the University of Agriculture Abeokuta as assistant lecturer in 1994 and rose through the ranks to become a professor of plant breeding and genetics on October 1, 2007. He has served the Federal University of Agriculture Abeokuta in many capacities. He was also the 7th Deputy Vice Chancellor Development between 2021 and 2022 and acting Vice Chancellor of the university between 2022 and 2023. He has published many articles in both local and international journals and attended conferences, workshops and training programs in United Kingdom, United States of America, South Africa, France, China, Israel, among others. He is a member of several professional bodies, among which are Fellow Genetic Society of Nigeria, Fellow Institute of Health and Safety, Canada, and Fellow Agricultural Society of Nigeria. Professor Kehinde assumed office as the 7th substantive Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Agriculture Abeokuta on April 1, 2023. He is happily married and the marriage is blessed with wonderful children.
May I invite the Dean of the School of Life Sciences, Professor M. Kioladumoye, to please present the little token we have for our keynote speaker.
The School of Life Sciences, Federal University of Technology, Akure, presented to Professor Olushola Babatunde Kehinde, Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, as the keynote speaker at 1st International SLS Conference 2026, this day, 21st of July, 2026. Thank you, sir.
And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We want to take the last lecture for the day, and I would like to invite Professor Olushola Babatunde Kehinde. Okay, sorry. Professor P. Ayinde, I'm sorry. Professor Ayinde, for the next, the last speaker for the day. Please, can we take his citation? Professor Benjamin Adesina Ayinde is the Deputy Vice Chancellor at the University of Benin. He attended the University. Professor Benjamin Adesina Ayinde is the Deputy Vice Chancellor at the University of Benin. He attended the University of Lagos, Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, and the University of Benin, where he obtained bachelor's degree in botany, master's degree in pharmacology, and doctorate degree in pharmacology, respectively. He is a professor of pharmacology of over 30 13 years in the Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Benin, where he specializes in the biological evaluation and isolation of active constituents of Nigerian medicinal plants. He has 104 publications that cut across reputable national and international journals in addition to a book chapter, and he has attended many local and international conferences. Professor Ayinde has been departmental and faculty examination officers at different times and the head of Department of Pharmacology for 7 years. As a Senate member of the university, he was a member of some committees and have chaired quite a number of others, including investigations and medications. He was appointed a Deputy Vice Chancellor for Ekwan Campus in March 2022 under Professor Mrs. Lillian Salami as Vice Chancellor, whose tenure ended on December 2nd. He was again appointed to continue as DVC by Professor Edoba Bright Omorege, SAN, when he assumed office as the new Vice Chancellor. In addition to his roles as DVC, he has acted several times for the Vice Chancellor. He has been external examiner to many departments of pharmacology at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels across the nation, and he has successfully supervised and graduated 7 PhD and 14 MSc theses, while he still has 4 presently. He was elected the chairman of Nasirullah Al-Fatih NASFAT from 2009 to 2014. Equally, in 2009, he was appointed the Chief Imam, University of Benin Central Mosque.
Dear Vice Chancellor in absentia, the Dean of the Faculty, all our professors, the guests here, invited guests, and all our students, I say good afternoon to every one of us here. Of course, it's a privilege coming here to perform 2 duties. First, I came to represent my Vice Chancellor because he was invited to be one of the launchers by the Dean. And the Dean equally told me that I will be presenting a lecture here. Of course, I'm not the best, and I just feel it's an extension of the love, affection that the Dean has for us in the University of Benin. Thank you very much, sir. The title of the presentation is Bioprocessing Engineering and Translational Life Sciences for National Development. And because of our time, there are some parts of the lecture I will skip. Of course, I was given 15 minutes, and I will try as much as possible to keep to the time. The good thing is that I will leave the soft copy with the Dean. By defining life sciences, these are areas of research that specialize in studying living organisms and their relationships and contributions to the entire life processes and functionalities. They determine the extent of interactions and dynamics in the life of animals, human and microorganisms. The interactions of all, to a large extent, determine the functionalities of the organisms, including humans, predicting their overall contributions, productivities in the larger ecosystem of societies. The fields of life sciences include botany, zoology, microbiology, genetics, molecular biology, and biochemistry. A comprehensive examination of all these undoubtedly convenes one about the relevance and the importance of life sciences to all lives. They are absolutely related to agriculture, medicine, pharmaceuticals, as well as biotechnology. They all form the foundations of life and continue to lubricate it for its perpetuation. Bioprocessing, the functionality of all is defined as the functionality of all organisms. The functionality of all organisms is directly determined by their structural components, the environment containing their substrates, and the constituents they produce. The production of the constituents is regulated naturally in all biological systems, and it's a function of the factors stated above. It is also these constituents that exist in form of enzymes or other products of importance that determine to what extent such cells and products are used. Most times, the quantities of the products yielded naturally by the cells are abnormally low, lower than the quantities required for the progression of other levels or forms of existence, or to even the survival of life itself. It is the critical needs for optimal availabilities of useful cellular products that necessitate the introduction, development, and sustainment of bioprocessing. It can be described as a biological-based manufacturing process that utilizes living cells such as bacteria, yeast, or mammalian cells or their components like enzymes to optimally produce desired commercially or medicinally valuable products under specifically modified natural or artificial conditions. It combines biotechnology and engineering to scale biological reactions into industrial applications. These and other definitions can be summarized as bioprocessing is the method of optimizing the useful cellular products of an organism for maximum benefits or applications. In pharmaceuticals, bioprocessing utilizes the procedures in the cell tissue culture to obtain series of medicinally important products. The indiscriminate destruction of natural habitats leading to deforestation, decreasing the quality and quantity of medicinally useful plant materials, have made some plants to become endangered. These are in addition to the following: accessibility to some plants that are useful, and in some cultures, cultivation and collection and outright utilization of some plants are forbidden or regarded as taboo. An example here is Iroko tree. Iroko tree, where we come from in Benin, it's a tree in spite of its medicinal use. People don't go near it. They regard it as a taboo to collect the plants, and even if you say you want to work on it, you have to come to these patterns, the one we call the explants, in terms of when we define cell culture, the media and favorable environments. Let's quickly take the material. In the upstream microbial bioprocessing, the selection of organisms is very, very critical as it determines the ultimate fulfillment of the procedure. And this depends essentially, the choice of the microorganism depends essentially on the following: the type of organism that we want to use, either bacteria or yeast or any other material, compatibility of the products, potential for genetic engineering. The material we want to use must have the capacity to be manipulated when the time comes. Growth characteristics, regulatory approval. Of course, this one is very, very important in the time of COVID-19. Some persons try to work on plant materials that will have effect on the COVID-19. And you know, to say you want to cultivate, you want to culture COVID-19 in any laboratory became a problem. The safety also has to be considered because of the fact that there are some pathogenic organisms that we are going to see later, that one needs to be very, very careful while handling them. Stability and productivity, and last but not the least, impact on the environment. When we are in bioprocessing procedures, there are waste that will be generated. How do we handle such waste? The media, of course, consists of the source of carbon, the nitrogen source, the salts. We have the trace elements, vitamins, bubbling agents, antifoam agents, and as well as inducers. In cell tissue culture, we call the inducers the growth hormones. In choosing the media for formulation, the following requirement must be considered. The choice of the organism, the kind of media that we prepare, will depend on the organism that we are handling. Optimization, sterilization, we have to sterilize all the materials as well as even the organism. Cost efficiency, we have to think about the cost implication of carrying out the procedure. Then the regulatory compliance, just as we said earlier on, one must comply with all the regulatory activities, particularly NAFDAC as we have in Nigeria and SOL. For environmental factors, we have the effect of the lights, temperature, and culture vessel agitation. For initiation, that is inoculation of the material, once it has been inoculated, either cell culture or microbial organism, they both undergo the sigmoid cord that we have there. A to B, that's the lag phase, during which the material undergo a kind of acclimatization, familiarizing the cells with the environment. From B to C, we have the log phase. That is the period that the cells undergo exponential stage. The cells grow massively then, and that could lead to depletion of the constituent that we have there. Then we have the stationary phase, during which we have death of the cells equal to the multiplication of the cells. Around that time, there will be accumulation of gradual accumulation of constituent or metabolites that we need, and then we have the deceleration phase. Under the downstream stage, we have the analysis of the products. That is when we want to have when we have harvested the materials. How do we carry them out? How do we analyze them? In terms of isolating the materials, we undergo a series of procedures like chromatography, separation techniques, and when we have had that, we have to establish the quality of what we have isolated by way of being NMR or GCMS, as the case may be. Then the material, when it's now established to be pure, to be good for application, how do we formulate that? That has to go with, collaborating with people in pharmaceutics as well as other drug development agencies. We have to determine the bioavailability and the best method of applying the material. And then we can start thinking of scaling it up. And this ultimately becomes necessary to meet up with the subsequent demands of the products. Translating bioprocessing to national development, the ultimate of all scientific adventures ought to be of direct application and use to the society to improve the qualities of life for humans and other creatures in any ecosystem. The major challenges we encounter in our society, particularly in the academic world, including establishing a solid link between us and the appropriate industries for proper and timely application of our findings. Just like the lecturer said earlier on, that is the major problem that we have. We have piles of projects that do not have any application or translation into the society. The old slogan of publish or perish should be considered outdated and irrelevant to the modern world. Our research outputs should be directed towards having practical impact and application to solve emerging various problems in the dynamic world. Therefore, our bioprocessing techniques must find application in many fields which have direct impact on humans and their existence. These include biopharmaceuticals, enzyme production, biofuels, agriculture, food and beverages industries, as well as waste management. The challenges that we have with bioprocessing include need to work under aseptic condition. Any form of tissue culture, any form of bioprocessing ought not to be contaminated, because if you have contamination at any stage, automatically the product of whatever we are producing will be nullified. Then the risk and dangers of working with pathogenic organisms. If you have any organism like COVID-19 we mentioned earlier on, or any other pathogenic organism, working with them is very, very dangerous. The yield issue is equally there. No matter the quantity that you start with, what you get at the end of the day may be very, very small. Probable variation in products, you may be expecting product X to be the end of the material, but there could be any variation along the line or modification along the line that will lead to this change in the products. Cost implication. Of course, in this country today, I remember during the COVID-19 when we prepared some materials and we were looking for a way to get even the COVID-19 cultured. What we had was that there was no laboratory in this country as at then that could culture the organism. So that is also a challenge. And even if you say you want to establish one, automatically the cost implication will put one off the track. Availability of materials that are required and high sensitivity to environmental variations. It is important to note that some of these can be circumvented with appropriate high-tech applications. Our techniques must also take into cognizance, of emerging modern trends and developments in the world for us to remain relevant and with impact in the academic map. For instance, there can be significant shifts from the use of batch method in culture to perfection or continuous techniques, which could also be automated. Automated for proper use. Of course, I have here a little experience that we have in our lab. What we have here is, plantain as well as rice we use for modern food items for this purpose. Of course, the whole essence is to make sure that when we have stale food and we have microorganisms, particularly fungi, grown on them, is it possible we get any phytochemicals from such fungi? And what we did was just to incubate plantain, already boiled plantain, as well as rice. And then we left them for a period of 5 days, after which we saw different kinds of microorganisms. And these microorganisms were eventually cultured separately. Of course, while we incubated the plantain, we saw Aspergillus niger, Aspergillus tamari, mucor, as well as penicillium. While in the case of rice, we saw combinations of Aspergillus niger, mucor, neosporium, as well as penicillium. All these organisms were eventually cultured differently in order to get the pure strains. And after getting the pure strains, we now removed the mycelia. On top of the petri dishes, we put them together because we had to make sure that we scale it up. By the time we got that material was now extracted with ethyl acetate. Why did we use ethyl acetate? Ethyl acetate is known to be a medium polar solvent, which will not take much of the components of the agar along with it. And after we got that, we concentrated it, and then we subjected it to thin layer column chromatography in order to isolate the constituent. The constituent you can see, please come down. You can see the yellow on the column, please. You can see the yellow color that you have on the column there. That eventually was collected into various test tubes. We did this for each of these fungi, each of the fungus that we isolated. What we have next are the materials that we analyzed on thin layer chromatography, and eventually when they were now bulked together, we were able to get different spots that each of them contain. From that, we eventually got the pure compounds as we have them. Please, the last one, page 15. Okay, these are some of the pure compounds that we eventually isolated. 2 from some, 3 from some. What we are going to do with this eventually will be spectroscopic analysis, NMR, mass spec, as the case may be, or GCMS, depending on the nature, anyone we could find, and then subject them to pharmacological or biological activity. In conclusion, bioprocessing will continue to strive towards getting more and more relevant and applicable, particularly in a dynamic world with ever-increasing challenges like uncontrolled population accompanied with overstretched health facilities, waste generation, and quest for easier and economical ways of achieving goals. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much, sir. Another round of applause. Quickly, I want to recognize and welcome Professor Eo Ajayi. He's the Dean School of Allied Health Sciences Adekunle Ajashin University, Akuba Akoko. You are welcome, sir. We also have in our midst Dr. Omotobilolo Omotosho, the GM Joint Industries. She's on her way in. That's Dr. Omotobilolo Omotosho, GM Joint Industries. You are welcome. Now, just for a brief goodwill message, within a minute, let me invite Dr. Omotobilolo Omotosho. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are life scientists, and there has to be life. I might just do the goodwill message or taking the plenary session at a go. Just have 10 minutes. But only the goodwill for now. Okay, so I bring you good news. We all know that there is no life without science. We give credibility to God. There are different stories about life. But one thing is clear. If this very school, if this very college is not progressing, is not researching, and is not having this kind of scientific conversations, there is no way we can grow. I thought you would appreciate yourselves, because you are the ones that are giving us the direction to go. I don't know if we've noticed that any progress we are having, even in innovations and AI, it starts with life. It is when you identify the need that you can say you want to meet it. Look at every other sciences. What are they trying to do? They are trying to complement life. It's either to make life easy, or to make life longer, or to make life better. Yes or no? Please celebrate yourselves. On behalf of John Vance Group, we acknowledge your efforts in making life better. We also say we are together, because it is the outcome of your researches, your publications, that helps industries to grow, that helps us to come up with new recipes, new products, innovations, and that is why we are here to associate with you. I haven't given the congratulatory message or welcome message. The topic given to me is the magic of cocoa beyond chocolates. I'm sorry I stayed for long in class before going into the industry. That's not to say I'm not still a student, so I like question and answer. Who can tell me types of chocolates we have? I need one person to tell me types of chocolates you know. Just give me two. We have many. Anybody in the room? Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. This is 217. By 227, I need to be out of here. Anybody knows? Students at the back, you can also raise. Yes, sir. You can say it loud. Say it loud. Yes, sir.
We have black chocolate, white chocolate, milk chocolate.
Okay, I give you dark and milk chocolates. Please help me to appreciate it. You know, when children are crying, we say, take chocolates. Here we say take sweets. You know, everything is sweet. Whether it's candy, whether it's chocolate. When we are talking about cocoa, and let me also ask you, cocoa is not just about the money making. Cocoa is a plant of life. I bring it to you today. There are many health benefits in cocoa, and there are a lot of research fields, topics, and opportunities for you in cocoa. If you are here and you are a publisher or you are in life sciences, please look into that aspect, because there is a lot more for it to offer. At home, we have parents. We have people who are suffering high blood pressure. We have people with diabetes. We have people who cannot sleep. With ordinary doses of cocoa powder, we will live away from pills and drugs. These are verified clinical trials. If you want to lose weight, just cinnamon stick water with a tablespoon of cocoa every morning and night. After 1 week, after 1 month, climb the scale. If you have diabetes or you have high blood sugar, so to speak, all you need is not the sweetened cocoa, the pure cocoa powder. We have different types of them. Then let me also ask you, Another question in it. Which state is the largest producer? Please don't give me chorus answer. Which state is the largest producer of cocoa in Nigeria? If you know it. Yes, mommy? Ondo State. Okay, because she said Ondo State. And I think that is correct. Mommy, come and take cocoa powder so that you can also try the power. So this is cocoa powder from John Vance Industries. I thought you would appreciate her. So let me ask us, which company is the largest cocoa processor in Nigeria? That one is not common. It's not a known answer. The largest cocoa processor in Nigeria. Anybody in the room? Mommy, I think you deserve cocoa plus chocolate for you to know. In fact, you deserve it plus my vegetable oil. John Vance is the largest cocoa processor in Nigeria as at today. And why am I talking about that to us? That's one of the reasons that we partner with you, because we recognize the results your work can bring. We have a lot of your students doing CWES with us. We have a lot of your students that are employed with us, but we are challenging this school, the college, we are challenging the association, we are challenging professionals in this field, because in the industry, we've seen the potentials, we've seen a lot of things that are there for us. It's a pity because of time and rushing, there are some about 19 slides prepared, and my questions will be based on those slides. But let me also ask us, what is the biggest nutrition you can get from cocoa? Anybody in the room? Because I don't want to go back with anything. What is the biggest nutrition? Oh, okay, let me make it easy. Okay, you want to try, sir? Not only vitamins, come close, I would help. Flavonoids, what do they do? Antioxidants, what do they do? They repair the... Please come and have your gift. You need to take more cocoa so that you understand. Yes, you need to. If you have a child, let me give you some antidotes, and I will give it free of charge today. And I will give you some recipes you need to go and try. Apart from the uses of cocoa in culinary, it is used widely in medicine. It is used widely in healing, even traditional healing. It is used a lot. You see all these diffusers we are buying today, they are infusing cocoa liquor and cocoa takeout from it. So I'm selling this to us, and I'm going straight to the summary of the talk to say, you have a lot of testes that needs to come out of cocoa because it will birth more. Now the side code, the magic of cocoa beyond chocolates. We also have beverages. So it's not only for the old ones. When we say unsweetened cocoa, we are also talking about the beverages. Please give me some strings of beverages there. When we say beverage, some people just know cocoa powder, milk, and sugar. We also put what we call vitamins and minerals to fortify it. And I make bold to say to us today that you can never find, I beat my chest because it's made in Ondo State. This is FUTA hosting this conference. I assure you, there is no 3-in-1 beverage in Africa that beats this recipe. Because it does not use cocoa flavor. It uses pure cocoa powder. This is Ondo. Please appreciate yourselves. So wherever you see it, it's not about the advertisement. It's not about the money making. I'm pushing it to you. Use it in your trials. Use it in your clinical trials and come back and challenge me. They introduced me as Dr. Tomi Omotosho. My doctorate is not medical, it's also academic. My PhD is in public health. Thank you, everyone. Okay, I have 2 minutes. Okay, wait. I don't want to go on with anything. Wait now. I need somebody to tell me your key take out from today's challenge. I've challenged us to do many things. I've mentioned many things. Please don't say 3 so that others can get something. And I need from the back too. Is there any take out from this 5 minutes conversation? Anybody? Bring one. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can do more researches on cocoa. You deserve some cocoa. You are still a student now. So you need the 3-in-1. It's the beverage you need. Yes, sir. Speak up, speak up. Exactly. Please let me give it up to him. Yes, mommy. Yes, ma'am. There are ways to take it. For manpower, you use it at night, an hour before bed. For weight loss, you use cocoa powder with cinnamon water, morning and night. For diabetics, you use it only every morning, before meal, warm. So it is not generic use. It depends. If you need other recipes, if you want to partner in the researches, the works we have done, because we have practical experience. I'm also in the academic world. Like I said, my PhD is in public health. Life sciences is not out of scope for us. So let's partner, let's research more and get more for the world. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You cannot have it. I challenge you. Help me with that chocolate box. If you see, not only in Africa, I said John Vance is the largest cocoa processor in Africa. Although is the largest producer. If you eat, because we mentioned chocolate, if you have any other chocolate purer than this chocolate, come and challenge me. In fact, sue me. And I mean it. We've had the feedback. Yes, ma'am.
It's medicinal and it serves as antioxidants.
Don't say true, so that another person can say. God bless you. No, he's very correct. It shows he has experience in it. There are a lot of researches. Cocoa is a magical bean. It's not just a bean. God bless you.
I know I have experience that they can reduce blood level, like the high blood level. If you are taking blood sugar.
Blood sugar.
It has magnesium for stronger bones and LDL.
For the calcium and other magnesium and things we have in it. I have to get to the back.
If institutions partner with John Vance, will liberate our country.
Exactly, and have more innovations. Because of our time, I will say thank you. God bless you. We wish you a beautiful celebration. We wish you a nice day at the conference. And please, when you are having the outcome of this conference, ensure we have to go in it. Thank you and God bless you.
Another round of applause for John Vance.
If you are inside the hall and you don't have a cup of cold chocolate yet, raise up your hands. Kilo shele. Made the John Vance way. Don't worry, they will serve it now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Having come to the end of today's session, tomorrow we are all expected by 9 a.m. at the TI Francis Auditorium where we are. I want to invite the chairman LOC, Professor Anthony Kayode Onifade, for the vote of thanks. Please let's applaud him as he comes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols duly extended. I want to give thanks to the Almighty God for making today's program a big success. Let me remove my glasses. In addition, I want to thank our chief host, the Vice Chancellor of the best University of Technology in Nigeria, Professor Adenike Temidayo Oladiji, for her unflinching support at making this occasion a huge success. Also thanks to our management team, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, Registrar, Bursar, Librarian. We also thank the directors here present at that moment. Then thanks to the deans of other schools. Special appreciation goes to the Dean of School of Life Sciences, FUTA, Professor M.K. Olatunmoye, for his initiative, for the ruggedness and the spirit that made today's program a huge success. Thanks to our Chief Launcher, High Chief Engineer David Omoya, our guest lecturer, Dr. M.A. Mohammed, ably represented here. You're welcome. Thank you very much, sir. Our keynote speaker, Professor O.B. Kennedy, the Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Agric, Abeokuta, who is also ably represented by Professor Adebayo. You are welcome, sir. We also thank our guest speaker, Professor B.A. Ayinde. All our awardees, we thank Mr. Kolajo. Thanks a lot for your support, financially and morally. Thanks a lot. To all our awardees, thank you very much. We are so grateful to both academic and non-academic staff of the School of Life Sciences. Thanks to our erudite professors and other academic staff. Great Futurians. We thank all the students in the School of Life Sciences for your support. May God continue to bless you in Jesus' name. Special appreciation goes to all members of the local organizing committee. You have done a great job. Thank you very much, sir. To our protocol and passages units of the university, thank you very much. Thanks to FUTA Radio for the coverage. Thanks to our PRO's office. Thank you very much. Sister Taye Fagoye, you have done well. You're welcome. We thank the university management in all its ramifications. Once again, the Dean School of Life Sciences, thank you very much. To our sponsors, to John Vance Industries Limited, thank you very much. We still need more of your support and collaborations. Thank you. You are welcome. Also, Pyramid Foundations, thank you very much. Pyramid Estates, we are very grateful to all other sponsors. We have seen your hand. I see Ake Arawoyabi. Thank you very much. The program still continues tomorrow with the plenary session, the paper presentations and others. Please wait for the lunch. I wish you all the best and I wish you a happy stay. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Chairman LOC. Non-paid advertisements. John Vett says all the products of Foucault are outside. All their products are outside. If you want to buy, you can get them outside. Thank you very much. Having come to the end of this program for today, I humbly request that we rise first for the FUTA anthem and then the national anthem.
National progress, academic excellence is your tradition.
much. All LOC members are to take a group photograph with the Dean out the foyer of this auditorium. Thank you very much. Let us come to time tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning.